Oh my goodness, good times, good times. All right, guys, let's get this shindig going. You know what we gotta do, right? We gotta cover the newsletter. Ooh, oops, I forgot to show from my early class. Oh well. I was so excited.
Okay, Vegas rules.
Yeah, I know. I broke the rules. I didn't show the newsletter last class. Where is it? Oops. Here we go. Uh-huh. What is going on? Let me pop it up here so I can show you what is going on. Here we go. What is going on? News, your first Newsweek letter of the week with the block with me. Awesome. Okay. Welcome to the new students, and you guys can see them because you guys are all online. Okay. What else? This is your holiday calendar. Okay. May 31st, Memorial Day weekend. Memorial Day, so you got no class that day. June 5th, we do have a Saturday school, unfortunately. Juneteenth, no class. June 28th or July 2nd is your summer break. August 13th, no school in service. September 6th, November, no school. November 3rd, 13th, Saturday school, not a holiday. November 25th to the 26th, Thanksgiving and winter break. By that time, you guys should be gone by extra special day for May 17th to the 23rd. So today is National Cherry Cobbler Day. Today is also the last day to file your taxes. I did mine last night. I worked till the last minute. May 18th, National Cheese Souffle Day. May 19th, National Devil's Food Cake and Day World Baking. Ooh, Devil's Food Cake, man. I go a different route on the Devil's Food Cake from my 201 class. I make something else. We make the recipe, but we present it a different way. Oh man, oh man. Anyways. And World Baking Day. May 20th, National Quiche Lorraine Day. May 21st, National Strawberries and Cream Day. May 22nd, National Vanilla Pudding Day. And the Laffy Taffy. That's an old jam from way back. What is it? 06, 04? The Laffy Taffy. May 23rd, National Taffy Day. I forget who sang that. Who rapped that? Remember, guys, you guys on a hybrid, or you guys are online, but if you ever switch to hybrid, which I hope you guys do, because regional, it's a lot of different equipment and the space and what have you not. It's just very fast paced. So, okay. So anyway, so you do change to hybrid, those are the rules. Okay. Uniform policy, again, today is lecture day, so you don't have to wear a hat, but beginning tomorrow, all the way through Friday, of course, you have to go into your hat. Okay. What else? Again, most of it just for the hybrid. You got to keep that uniform policy standard. Okay. What else? I know. Remember to check your school email. If Chef Robin sends you an email, please respond back to her as soon as possible, either her, Shelly, or Shannon. Portal issues, that's your information to call or send an email to get them fixed. Tutoring is available now, I guess. You already have math, you might not need it, unless you were a mathematician. What else? Talk Campus, if you have an issue, so you need someone to talk to, there's an app on your phone you can download and talk to somebody 24/7. Again, if you're a college student, you can sign up and get Hulu for $1.99 a month. Okay. What else? If you have recently changed or moved, that's the link to file your change of address and our phone number. What else? So local resources if you need assistance. Okay. Financial aid assistance from T. Vargas or Mary Reardon. She used to be the one that sent stipend, but they stopped last block. How to protect yourself, follow CDC guidelines. Okay, wash your hands, of course, wear a mask, 6 feet. Now the laws have changed a little bit. Vaccine adds an extra layer of protection. I just got my second shot Saturday. Man, it hurt. Sunday, it felt like somebody hit me with a Charlie horse in my arm, my shoulder. But I got my second shot done. Same day I donated blood, so it was a double woozy. I'm like, oh, shit, net. City of Austin, if you need a COVID shot, that's the number to call and set up an appointment. Okay. Utilizing bleach as a disinfectant, just don't drink it. It's not a kamikaze cocktail. Ms. Ann Derrick, your best friend when you go into externship. Okay. Featured employer, Marriott Downtown Austin is hiring. They're looking for a sous chef, Korean line cook, Zanzibar line cook, banquet line cook, and dishwasher. 304 East Cesar Chavez. That's the code to look for. And that's the website, www.ylodging.com careers. Okay. If you want to apply for the Marriott. What else? Le Patissier, French pastry shop that specializes in macaroons, croissants, desserts, and wonderful customer service. Local bakery adding a rockstar AM baker, prep baker to the team of fabulous pastry chefs. Shifts 4 to 12 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday, 4 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pays 12 to 16 an hour. Okay, please send your resume to luxlepat@gmail.com. Featured employer, single event opportunities. Call Nisha Mackey. Event One Mount Olive Church. 2 workers needed. Pay rates $18 an hour. What is it? Friday, May 21st, from 5 to 8:30 p.m. I guess that's during class. You can. Event number 2, the Terrace Club. 2 workers needed. Pay rates $18 an hour. Of Highway 290 Dripping Springs, Thursday, May 24, from 4:45 to 9:30 p.m. I guess not during class. Event number 3, Casablanca, Brushy Creek, 2 workers needed, $18 an hour. Sunday, May 30th, 2021, from 5 to 11. If that's something that interests you guys, check it out. Okay, $18 an hour can be it. What else? Quote of the week. Okay. Kitchens are a place where hard work beats talent. Talent doesn't do hard work, right? Just for fun, if all the things that taste like chicken, it's weird that eggs are not one of them. Can you believe that chicken's poop is only one you eat for breakfast? All right, trivia, food for thought. Let's see what how you guys feel about this one. What is the most widely eaten fish in the world? Is it cod, number 1, 2 herring, 3 tuna, 4 salmon, or 5 tilapia? 4 salmon. Anyone?
Tuna.
3 and 2, tuna and herring. Anyone else? Herring. Oh, tuna. All right. See a lot of 4s, a lot of 3s. Tuna, salmon. Salmon is universal. You find it almost all recipes. Okay. So let's check it out. What is the most widely eaten fish in the world? Cod, herring, tuna, or salmon, tilapia? In the world, not just in the US. Herring is the most widely eaten fish in the world. However, in the United States, tuna is the most consumed fish, and the most consumed seafood is shrimp. Tuna, canned tuna, tuna melt, tuna salad, tuna sandwiches, right? Ahi tuna, tuna sashimi, tuna sushi, right? I don't know about herring. It's too small. It looks like sardine. I don't like sardines. Anywho, that's your news letter for the week. All right, guys, let's go see what's happening next. Okay. Let's get right into it, right? So you guys know the drill, right? About grades, right? Attendance, professionalism, homework, participation, and of course you don't have to worry about cleaning the kitchen because I'll be doing that myself in the kitchen because I'm so lonely without you guys in the kitchen. Okay. Yeah, I'll be cooking in the kitchen. I'll be cleaning by myself. It's okay. I got Pandora. Anyways, what else? What to expect the next 6 weeks? During the next 6 weeks, we're going to travel to the US, Mexico, Colombia, Ecuador, France, Spain, Italy, Germany, Africa, Northern Africa. It's one of my favorite cuisines. Asia, during the food travels, we're going to learn about the history, brief history and culture of the region cuisine. Once we're in the kitchen, again, everybody is to behave professionalism. Of course, you guys will. I know you guys. Sanitation, like you're not in the kitchen, so just make sure your kitchens are clean, don't cross-contaminate. Production sheets are very, very important. You must have them before class starts. Thank you, Ms. Jason, for sending yours. That was going to be your lifeline for this class, guys, for this block, okay? Your production sheet is your lifeline. If you don't have it, you are going to be lost. Okay, that's a given. And also do your homework about the certain recipes, the technique, the flavor, the textures. I'm gonna try to guide you guys as much as I can through every single day. Even this week, we're hitting the ground running. Okay, of what the flavor profile should be, the texture, the look, and the ingredients that go in each recipe. Okay. What else? On the recipes, try to keep it within the same margins as the one recipes in the portal. Unless I told you guys that we're going to do a little bit different. Otherwise, try to stick with it. Don't try to add. Somebody wanted to add turmeric to Kung Pao chicken last block. I'm like, the fuck? No, turmeric is a Middle Eastern spice, and not in Chinese or Asian cuisine. So don't try to add something that is not, because then that recipe is going to be bastardized. Okay. Like tomorrow, we're going to go to the Midwest, right? Anybody from the Midwest? Been there, done that?
I've been there. I have questions.
You get, okay. So you know about Midwest cuisine, right? It's plain Jane, right? Steak and potatoes, nothing spicy, right? So don't try to add cayenne pepper, jalapenos, I call them jalapenos, okay? Anything spicy to the menu for tomorrow. No chili powder, no paprika, only what the recipe says, because we're making meatloaf, potatoes, and green beans. We're also gonna make the pickled cucumbers, jalapenos, and we're gonna make pate brisée tomorrow. So don't try to add anything extra that's on the recipe, okay? Because we gotta keep it as it is. Okay, so again, it's Midwestern cuisine. It's pretty plain, nothing spicy. Okay. Yeah, turmeric and Kung Pao chicken. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh man.
Yeah, Midwest is like close cousins with the far Northeast, like up in Maine and New Hampshire and all them.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, don't try to make Texas or New Mexico food in the Midwest. I'm not gonna cut it. No.
Just makes me sad.
Right. Uniform standards, you know about the uniform. Again, no hat today, but moving forward, Tuesday through Friday, your chef's coat and your hats. Okay. And this mostly just falls on the hybrid because again, you don't want to have food, hair in your food and so forth and so on. Right? Attendance, you guys know about attendance. If you guys are absent, your grade on the bottom will say absent for the day. You get a 0. Okay. Try to be on time, especially you guys that are online. So my suggestion for you guys that are all online is to have your ingredients already mixed out. Mix them out. Okay. That means have everything measured out, ready to rock and roll, because when we hit the floor running, we're going to go. Okay. So if you can, if you have time, measure your ground beef, make sure have your potatoes maybe peel or cut, ready to be cooked. Your dough already made, your onions, whatever it needs to be done, diced, cut, already measured out, so ready to go. You have the advantage to do so at home because we're going to go fast and furious, guys. We have 2.5 hours to produce the menus. Tomorrow we have 7 recipes on the portal that we got to do, 7 recipes. So try to have everything ready to rock and roll. So when we start the clock, we go, right? We go. This is no Chef Gary's class. So we're taking 30 minutes to explain how to make rice pilaf. Or 45 minutes, how to activate yeast in warm water. No, that's gone. Okay, we're gonna make awesome food, but we're not gonna move slower than molasses. Okay. Chef Gary's ears must be ringing right now. Good. So anyways, fast and furious, everything is now ready to rock and roll. Okay, guys. You guys know about grading. Uniform is 25 points. Again, you have your camera on, not at your ceiling, but at your countertop when you're cooking. And your chef coat and pants, your chef's hat, your chef's coat and hat. Down the bottom, you can wear your jammies, your flip-flops, your shorts, as long as you guys don't get burned or cut. Yeah, I don't want to see anything below. I just want to see your chest up, okay? Your waist up. Make sure you have your chest up, okay? What else? Preparation. Be prepared for class. If you come to class, ask me, Chef, what are we cooking today? I'm gonna be like, what? Okay, right? We already talked about that on Monday in depth. Okay. Participation. Let's make sure we knock out everything, all the items on the menu every single day. Understanding what you guys did right, how you guys excel, what you guys need to improve on. that's also worth 25 points. So again, everything on the a daily grid is worth about 100 points. So if you earn them, more power to you, right? But if you didn't, you'll know why on the in your grading, the comments, why you got that grade that's below 100 points. Okay. Don't wait until week 6. Chad, why is my grade so low? Well, was your camera on? Did you have your uniform? Did you do your production sheets? Okay, so every single day, be on point. Okay. And again, leaving class early also affects your grade, okay, and your attendance. Okay. And again, recipes, don't try to bastardize those items. Okay, what you got on your box is ready to go, unless you're missing something. Like right now, I just kind of thinking off the top of my head that you might be missing either a molasses or barley malt, either one of those, because I just saw one that would look like dark and syrupy, so I just put it in your box. So check your box so you make sure you have those two, okay? So your practical, the end of this block, okay? You are having a cooking practical. It's a 3-hour time limit, okay, on day 29, not day 28. Your practical includes 2 of each, 2 orders of spring rolls. So 4 spring rolls, 2 plates. 2 orders of red curry chicken, both with steamed jasmine rice. So 2. And 2 orders of young chow fried rice, okay? Now you are going to make all these items before the practical comes around, okay? So you know how they're made, how they're cooked, how they're cut, your knife cuts, even the spring rolls. And I always say this with all due respect, with spring rolls. If you know how to roll a joint, doobie, you know how to roll a spring roll. Just putting it out there, okay? Just don't pinch the ends. There's no roach clip around this block, all right? So 2 orders of spring rolls, 2 orders of red curry chicken with steamed jasmine rice, and 1 order young chow fried rice. You guys knew it was coming, right? Come on. Right? You knew it was coming. Right? If you know how to wrap certain things, you know how to do a chimichanga, burrito, spring roll, egg roll, right? Just saying. So anyways, that is your practical, 2 of each. You got a 3-hour time limit. Nothing can be made before that practical. The only thing you can cook is the rice. You got to steam the rice beforehand, cook the rice, and spread on a sheet tray so it's not clumped together. And the day off, you got to do all your knife cuts, and you got to produce of these 3 items times 2. So you've got to produce 6 dishes, 2 of each, okay? And we'll go, and we'll go into each one and talk about how they're made. It's okay. It's all about having fun. I know Chef Gary doesn't have any jokes like this. Oh, he's great, but yeah, he's a little bit, yeah. All right, moving on. Away from the doobies and the joints and the blunts. Okay. So that's for your practical, and I will bring it up again week 4, week 5, and we'll talk about it week 6 again, just so it's fresh in your mind. Okay. All right, guys. So that's what's coming up. Now let's get right into it. Let's dive in it. Okay. What else? Where we go? There we go. Okay. So let's cover the Midwest today. Okay. Let's cover the Midwestern states. Okay. Midwestern states. That is the Midwest. Okay. Anybody from the Midwest? Again, Jesse's only been in the Midwest, right? I think the furthest I've been is Nebraska, Omaha, Kansas City, Missouri, and that's about it. St. Louis.
I've been to Kansas City, Missouri.
You've been to that, not the red light district, that's a different one.
Oh, wow.
You know, they have the music, the bars and all that. So they were having a concert back then, and I went to this comedy club in Kansas City, Missouri, and we went to the district, and they was having a concert, and we went to stop at a Maker's Mark bar, and I walked in, and I was making my drink, right, and I had to walk out because it was a cigar bar, and I don't smoke, so I can't deal with that, so I'm like, all right, I got to do this, I'm out. But it was a good place. So anywho, that's the Midwest, right? Midwest.
Yes. I've driven to Chicago, drove to Wisconsin, not by choice, went to summer school in Missouri. It's just a lot of salt, Chef. A lot of salt.
Right?
And then they pick a black pepper shake and they're like, okay, that's enough. And
Yeah,
then like toss it.
yeah, a lot of salt, steak and potatoes kind of cuisine. Nothing spicy. No, no jalapenos, no cayenne pepper, none of that sort of thing. Very plain Jane. Don't try to make Louisiana food over there, Cajun food in the Midwest, because they won't go for it.
They're confused. They're like, well, can I put cheese with it? This tastes really spicy. Like, oh, I added like some black pepper and a little bit of cayenne. Yeah, you shouldn't have added the cayenne. It's too spicy. What?
Maybe you can have some poutine French fries, cheese curds and
Pout-
gravy.
Yep. It's a good hangover food though.
Yeah,
We sold it at the place I work at right now, and I tried it on a lunch break just for funsies to see how it was. It was a mistake. I was very sleepy afterwards, but it was good.
I would ask some carne asada fries, right? Some pico de gallo on top. Yeah, not poutine fries. There's something different. So Midwestern states. Okay, Midwestern is consists of the states of the country east of the Rocky Mountains. Considered part of the Midwest is North and South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Missouri, and Illinois. I call Missouri misery. Sometimes the states east of this are Indiana, Ohio, Michigan are also included in describing the Midwest. Yeah, I used to call it misery. It's funny though, because people from Missouri used to talk smack about people from Oklahoma and Arkansas. Really? Whatever. Anywho, a lot of Native American tribes were gatherers and hunters. Okay, they use farming methods to let them grow crops and on the same soil for many, many years. Okay, we got to take care of the soil. You know what Native Americans call the vegans?
The vegans?
Yeah, if you're a vegan of Native American tribe, they probably call you the because they're hunters. Probably call you the village idiot who cannot hunt.
Yeah.
If you're vegan, in the tribe, probably call you the village idiot who cannot hunt.
I believe that.
You gotta eat some corn, some grass. You can't eat meat because you cannot.
You're like, bro, your cousin couldn't get a deer to save his life. Well, guess we're eating vegan.
Grass, go for the grass. All right. Anyways, so hunting, a lot of hunting. They hunted for meat. In the 1500s, the Spanish brought horses to America. Horses helped the Indians and the Great Plains hunt buffalo. They did not eat the horses. They rode the horses. Ayo, silver, right? History. Midwestern cuisine is, again, it draws culinary roots from significant from the cuisines of Central, Northern, and Eastern Europe. Culinary profile seems synonymous with the American food. Over the decades, people including Germans, British, Italians, Hungarians, and Scandinavians immigrated to the Midwestern. That's why it's so plain. Food, sometimes called the breakfast of America. The Midwest serves as a center for grain production, particularly wheat, corn, and soybeans. Corn. From legumes to fry bread. Have you guys ever had fried Indian tacos? Oh man, fried Indian tacos is like you have this dough, you flatten out like tortilla, you deep fry it, top it with some taco meat, some lettuce, tomatoes, and sour cream. Damn, it is so good. I know the recipe top of my head too.
It's a nap. That's
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is. It's so good.
and that's what it looks like on the left-hand side, but it's not crispy, it's not crispy, especially if you're around New Mexico. It's big in New Mexico. Oklahoma too, it is big. So fried Indian tacos. It's a fried giant dough disc frisbee that is topped with a seasoned corn, ground meat, cooked meat, lettuce, tomatoes, some cheese, and maybe some sour cream. Man, beer on the side, I'm out. It's like Thanksgiving dinner. Tryptophan just kicks in. Okay. Yeah, it looks like a big old giant buñuelo or tostada, but it's not. It's actually dough. It is 4 cups of flour. What is it? A teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of salt, and enough milk to make it into a dough consistency. That's it. Anyways, more than that. They produce most of the country's wild rice. Beef and pork processing always have been important. Beef and pork Again, it's strong role in regional diets. Chicago and Kansas City were historically stockyards. Processing centers in beef and trade in Cincinnati, nicknamed the Porkopolis, was once the largest pork producing city in the world. Think about it. The largest pork producing city in the world, and they don't have barbecue. What the fuck, right? Stockyards, no barbecue. That's insane. They got to get imported. Anyways, far from the oceans, Midwestern traditionally ate little seafood, relying on local fresh water such as perch and trout, some augmented by canned tuna and canned or cured salmon or herring. Although modern era shipment of ocean seafood has been increased in Midwestern states of ocean fish. Now, Midwest, up in the north, Minneapolis, and also Wisconsin, walleye fish is big. Walleye fish is delicious. It's awesome fish, but it's a lake fish, not an ocean fish. Okay, walleye fish. Dairy products, especially cheese from imported from an important group of regional ingredients, which with Wisconsin is known as American Dairyland. Cheese production in the Midwest, Wisconsin cheese production since in 2009 total about 2.63 billion pounds. 24% was cheddar, 32.8 mozzarella, 7.4 other American, 14 other Italian, 17 others, Hispanic 2.1, and Munster cheese, excellent for a nice grilled cheese sandwich with tomato basil bisque too. Yep. Midwestern food, the upper Midwest, the prime fruit growing region sees the extensive use of apples, blueberries, cranberries, cherries, peaches, and other cold climate fruit in the cuisine. Traditional Midwestern cooks use a light hand and seasonings, again, no cayenne pepper. Preferring sage, dill, caraway, mustard, and parsley to hot, bold, spicy flavors. Germans started to arrive and brought beer. Oh yeah. Sauerkraut and sausages. They also introduced a tradition of serving meals family style. Family meats, relishes, soups, vegetables, and pies were set on the table all at once. British brought pasties or meat pies, bread pudding, and roast with potatoes. Italians brought pastas and native cheeses. Then the Hungarians brought goulash, lefse potato bread, and meatballs were introduced by the Scandinavians. That's what lefse looks like.
Scandinavian culture in the Midwest runs deep. Like, it's crazy. They're the nicest people, but that runs deep. They go back like 6 generations with that.
Yeah, that was the first settlers back there besides the Native Americans, so it runs deep. As many American regional cuisines, Midwestern cooking has been heavily influenced by immigrant groups throughout the Midwestern. European immigrant groups predominated, so Swedish pancakes, Polish pierogi are common. Wisconsin, Missouri, Kansas, Ohio, Illinois were destinations for many ethnic German immigrants, so pork, sausages, and potatoes are prevalent. In the Rust Belt, many Greeks became restaurateurs in part of the Mediterranean influence. Native American influence showed up in the use of corn and rice. Coalition Midwestern cooks use a light hand with seasonings again. However, with new waves of immigrants from Latin America and Asia moving to the region, these tastes are now changing, but still they're pretty adamant about the food being plain Jane. This section is also a region for also headquarters for several Seminole hamburger chains, including McDonald's in Oak Brook, Illinois, founded by California, but turned into an iconic franchise. If you guys know the history of the movie by Ray Kroc. Beginning with the still standing store in the Plains, Illinois, the Midwest also home to Hardee's in St. Louis, Missouri, Culver's in Sauk City, Wisconsin, Steak and Shake founded in Normal, Illinois, and now based in Indianapolis, Wendy's in Dublin, Ohio, diner chain Big Boy, known for burgers. I don't know, they might change the name to something else. You know, I guess everybody's into it. Maybe. What else? Columbus, Ohio, since 1933, were founded in Wichita, Kansas. Besides Pizza Hut, Midwest is home to the other large pizza chains in the U.S., Little Caesars, Domino's, both based in Michigan, respectively in Detroit and Ann Arbor. And Papa John's Pizza, founded in Indiana, though its current headquarters are just outside the federal defined Midwest of Louisville, Kentucky, across the Ohio River from the chain's original home in Jeffersonville. Okay. Bratwurst and sauerkraut and potatoes. A Wurstmarkt, sometimes spelled Wurstmarkt or Wurstmarket, is variation of a fish fry found predominantly in German American communities. Wurstmarkt is usually held by churches as fundraising events, and they're huge. And when you walk out of there, stuff, stick a fork in me, I'm done. Anyways, there are people who pay for a buffet. That's quite a buffet, though. Sausages and other side dishes. Common side dishes include mashed potatoes, gravy, sauerkraut. Wurstmarkt comes with German word Wurstmarket, meaning sausage market. Wurstmarkts are found mostly in small rural German American communities in the Midwest, particularly around St. Louis. In Midwestern cuisine, Again, it draws culinary roots from the significant from cuisine Central, North, and Eastern Europe and native North America, and is influenced by regionality, locally grown foodstuffs, and cultural diversity. Everyday Midwestern home cooking generally showcases simple and hearty dishes to make use of abundance of locally grown foods. Its culinary profiles may seem synonymous with American food. Quoted in 2007 interview with Daily Herald, Chef Stephen Langlois, a pioneer in Midwestern local food movement, described it. Think of it as Thanksgiving dinner, turkey and cranberry sauce. But it's got to be from the can, though. You cannot make cranberry sauce fresh from Thanksgiving. It's got to be from the can. And wild rice and apple pie. Yeah, if you make cranberry sauce from scratch, it ain't the same. It's got to be that gelatinous can-shaped cranberry sauce. Then you're good to go.
Just put it back in the fridge. My mom has been making cranberry sauce since I was like 6.
Well, if it coagulates, put it in a can. It's got to be. It's like when you order pizza from Pizza Hut, it comes in a box. You open it in the box like.
So you want it to be like that cartoon where it just falls out of the can in one mass?
Yeah, like that.
Ew. Ew.
It's like.
Yeah, it just sits straight up on the plate, just jiggles.
Yeah.
No.
This restaurant also offers diverse ethnic cuisines, sophisticated contemporary techniques. Okay. Popular Midwestern state dishes: bratwurst with sauerkraut and potatoes. That's what I had Saturday for dinner, except the potatoes. They had the jalapeno and cheddar cheese sausage with sauerkraut, mustard, and it had a Modelo Bohemia to go with it. Oh, it was a perfect match. What else? Beaverton, Ohio chicken. Beaverton chicken created by serving immigrants, deep fried in lard. Oh, those flavors. Usually accompanied by hot rice dish, vinegar, coleslaw, and French fries. Imagine doing a breaded chicken deep fried in lard. Man, those flavors, right? Tell you what, I'm down. Chicago deep style deep dish pizza. Ethnic mix of people in Chicago has led to distinctive cuisine and restaurants food exclusive to the area, such as Italian beef, the Maxwell Street Polish, and the Chicago style hot dog, Chicago style pizza, chicken Vesuvio, and the Ibarito, as well as a large number of steakhouses. Greek cheese dish, Saganaki, was first flambéed on the table in Greek town. Chicago's oldest signature dish, shrimp Dijon, was invented around the turn of the 20th century. Today, flights into O'Hare Airport bring Chicago's fresh food from all over the world. According to some resources, shrimp Dijon was invented at the turn of the 20th century by the Dijon brothers, Belgian immigrants, in owners of the Dijon's Hotel and Restaurant in Chicago. This garlicky herb casserole is one of the earliest Windy City specialties. Can be served as an appetizer or main course. I'll take it as a main course. Okay. Cincinnati, the Queen City, is known for its namesake, Cincinnati chili. Check this out. Okay, check this out, guys. Tell me what this sounds like. Greek-inspired meat sauce, ground beef seasoned with cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, cloves, bay leaf, cumin, chili, and chocolate. What does that sound like to you?
Mole?
Bingo! Mole! But without the ground beef, though. I'm like, that's mole.
We actually just made mole today.
With abuelita chocolate? Yep. Serve over spaghetti and hot dogs. Imagine mole with spaghetti and hot dogs. What the fuck? No. But if I'm there, I'm going to try it. But no, yeah. Unlike chili con carne, Cincinnati chili is almost never eaten by itself, and it's instead consumed in waste or in cheese conies, which are regional variation of the chili dog. Goeda, a meat and grain sausage, a mush made from pork and oats, is unique in the greater Cincinnati area and very bit as much as Queen City icon Cincinnati chili. It was inspired by the traditional porridge-like German peasant food, stripped grütze, but incorporates higher proportion of meat to grain and is thicker, forming a sliceable loaf. Slices are typically fried like sausage patties and served over breakfast. More than 1 million pounds of goetta are served in the Cincinnati area per year. Cleveland, local specialties such as pork-based dish, city chicken, and the Polish boy, a lotus sausage sandwich into Cleveland, are dishes definitely a cuisine that based in the hearty and expensive fare. Commercially, Hector Boiardi, aka known as Chef Boyardee, a real person, started his business in Cleveland's Little Italy. Okay. Detroit specialties include Coney Island hot dogs, founded by hundreds of unaffiliated Coney Island restaurants. Detroit also has its own style of pizza, a thick crusted Sicilian cuisine influenced rectangle type called square pizza. Other Detroit foods include sip sauce, served over steaks, the triple decker dirty boar sandwich, corned beef layered with lettuce, tomato, Russian dressing, and the Chinese American dish called warshu gai or almond boneless chicken.
That is delicious. It is good. That sound nasty. And I was like, no, I'm not about to do that. But I went to Detroit and that thing is slapping. No joke.
Which one? The Warshu guy?
That sandwich.
Oh, the Dirty Moor?
Yeah, the corned beef layer with the lettuce, tomato. Ooh, it's good.
It's like a Reuben, right? Minus the sauerkraut.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
Tomato lettuce, you know. Indianapolis was settled predominantly by Americans of British descent and Irish and German immigrants. So many of the city's food draws upon this influences. Much of the food considered to be classic American cuisine led immigrants, including many Jews, Poles, Eastern Europeans, and Italians, all who influenced local food. Two of the city's most distinctive dishes are pork tenderloin sandwich and sugar cream pie. Yeah, stay away from it, you're diabetic. Otherwise, you'll be shot. No. Sugar cream pie. No. Your menu for tomorrow, buttered green beans, okay? But we're not gonna just cook them like this on the picture, okay? You are going to blanch them in salted boiling water, take them out, okay? Shock them in nice water, pat them dry, and cut them all the same size, the same length, okay? The same length. And then you're gonna saute them in hot oil or butter, should we say, a little butter, saute them until they get that blistering look on them. And you're going to figure out a way to put them on the plate. Don't just throw them on the plate. Again, you guys know how to plate up. You guys know what we're looking for. Stand on the plate with height and flow. So figure out how to way to put these green beans on the plate. Okay. Mashed taters, peel, cut, and boil. Okay. And they gotta be smooth. Remember foundation when we did the Southern fried chicken? I would put them in a piping bag and pipe them. Okay. We can do that with these mashed potatoes. Because if you make them too loose, they're going to kind of like look like Frosty the Snowman in the middle of summertime. So they got to be nice and firm. So you got to be able to pipe them and put them on the plate. They got to be pipeable. So be careful how much butter. And again, we use heavy cream for potatoes, so they stay nice and firm. Okay, utilizing your start tip. So remember, go back to foundations and think about how we did the piped potatoes on the Southern fried chicken. Okay. And meatloaf. Yeah, not the guy on the left. Okay, if you know who the guy on the left is, you know who meatloaf is. Meatloaf, okay. Meatloaf, we are going to soak the breadcrumbs in milk, okay. And when the breadcrumbs have been soaked in milk, and then we're gonna squeeze a little bit of milk out of it and fold them into the meatloaf. Because what happens when you add dry saltine crackers or dry breadcrumbs into the meatloaf? They extract the moisture. So when you get the meatloaf out of the oven, it's dry like a piece of cardboard. When you soak the breadcrumbs in milk and fold them into the meatloaf, it maintains the moisture of the meatloaf. It doesn't, get it all dry, okay? So meatloaf coming up. And then we're gonna soak the beans for the next day. Pickles and cucumbers, carrots and jalapenos for barbecue day Tuesday. See, I wish you guys were on a hybrid because we can have some fun with the smoke out in the back and smoke the chicken, the ribs, and I might even go to the store and buy a brisket. But anyways, barbecue day. So take a look at your Culinary Arts recipes and pull the pickle recipe from that one because you're gonna do some pickles. And also gonna make pate brisée, flaky pie dough. You guys should know how to make it. Make flaky pie dough from Chef Gary. So I know he went into it for about 2 hours after Monday's lecture how to make flaky pie dough. Because the pate brisée is going to be utilized for your oyster crackers on Wednesday. Okay, so it got to be flaky. And then for Wednesday, you're going to have New England clam chowder. And that's what the pate brisée you're going to need it for the New England clam chowder, okay, for the oyster crackers. And Wednesday, you're going to have also fish and chips, okay, with tartar sauce, French fries. You guys know how to do French fries, okay. and Boston baked beans. So that's why we're soaking the beans a day ahead of the game. So there's a lot of times we're going to be working some recipes the day before to the next day so we can get going. Because again, take a look at the recipes tomorrow. We're doing 7 recipes tomorrow. 7. Okay. So meatloaf, potatoes, and green beans. Pate brisée. What else? And pickles. Okay. Now let's take a look at meatloaf. Little technique how to make meatloaf. Okay. Again, we're not following this guy's recipe. I don't know if you guys remember this dude right here. I don't know if I showed you his videos last block. Yes, did we ever show you? I ever show you the videos on foundations by Chef John from foodwishes.com? Yeah, I did. Spatzel.
Is that the man with the loopy voice?
When it goes something like this, we're gonna make
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna go like this, and then you're gonna do it like this, and then you're gonna hold it over the water. But make sure you don't burn yourself.
Chef John from foodwishes.com coming up. Okay. All right, let me switch over the screen. And he calls it prison style meatloaf. And wait for it, he's gonna have a little.
He's been to prison? Wait.
If he has or not, probably so. We used to
He
call it
has a little,
summer camp.
he has a little bit more respect for me. That's hilarious.
Here we go. You put the there you go.
Wishes.com with an Italian meatball inspired prison style meatloaf. That's right. You know that old saying, if you can't do the time and you don't like meatloaf with a lot of filler, don't do the crime? Well, that comes from the fact that large institutions like this that have what we'll call a captive audience tend to use a lot of filler and bulky products in a meatloaf. And while saving money and crushing souls is the main reason they do it, it does actually produce a meatloaf
Jeff, I can't see the video.
incredibly tender.
Wow.
So every once in a while, I do enjoy making a meatloaf.
No, I thought I shared it with you guys. All right, let me see. Can you see the video now? No? All right, let me try it a different way. Can you see it now? No? What the fuck?
Feel like we're doing that Verizon commercial.
All right. Can you see it now? All right, cool.
Yes,
All
I
right.
can see the screen.
This is Chef John from foodwishes.com with an Italian meatball inspired prison style meatloaf. That's right. You know that old saying, if you can't do the time and you don't like meatloaf with a lot of filler, don't do the crime? Well, that comes from the fact that large institutions like this that have what we'll call a captive audience tend to use a lot of filler and bulking products in a meatloaf. And while saving money and crushing souls is the main reason they do it, it does actually produce a meatloaf that's very juicy and incredibly tender. So every once in a while, I do enjoy making a meatloaf in this style. And here's how we're going to put it together. So in a saute pan on medium-high heat, I'm going to melt some butter and a little bit of olive oil. And once that butter melts, we're going to dump in some diced onions with a big pinch of salt. And we're going to saute those, stirring occasionally until they're kind of golden brown. And we're definitely going to want to do this step first because this mixture will need to cool before it goes into the meat. So anyway, let's go ahead and saute those onions until nice and golden. And at that point, we're going to go ahead and dump in our finely minced garlic. I got about 4 cloves. And we're not even going to really cook this. We're just going to stir it in. And as soon as it is mixed in, all we'll do is turn off the heat and let that sit on the stove until it cools down to room temperature. So our onions are all set. And it's on to another step we want to do ahead of time, the soaking of the breadcrumbs. And it's these crumbs right here, in particular the amount of crumbs, that makes this what I'm calling a prison-style meatloaf. So I'm basically going to use twice as much breadcrumb as what would normally be called for in a modern meatloaf recipe. And I made these myself, but any plain, very dry white breadcrumb will work. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pour over milk and soak these breadcrumbs for about 15 or 20 minutes to make what I've always called a slurry, although I'm not sure if that's technically correct. But basically what we're going to do is mix that up and let it sit there for about 15 or 20 minutes till it absorbs all the milk. And don't be in a hurry. See, after about 10 minutes, they look like this, and you may think, hey, that looks soaked. We're good to go. But they're not. You'll see in another 10 or 15 minutes, they're going to look like that. See how those have swollen up? So that's what you want to wait for. And once we have our onion mixture cooled and our breadcrumbs soaked in milk, we are ready to proceed with the rest of the mixture. So in a bowl, I have 2 pounds of ground beef. I like to use chuck. I like the 85 to 15 lean to fat blend, but 80-20 will also work beautifully. And we'll go ahead and season up this meat with some salt and some freshly ground black pepper. And then let's go ahead and also give it a little shot of cayenne. That's going to provide some beautiful caged heat. We're also going to go ahead and dump in a couple beaten eggs, along with some freshly chopped Italian parsley, and also a nice handful of freshly grated Reggiano Parmesan. And you know, of all the things I would have trouble getting adjusted to in prison life, besides, of course, the constant physical assaults, it would be getting used to eating fake Parmesan cheese. I mean, talk about cruel and unusual. But anyway, we're going to dump in some Parmesan, and we'll also go ahead and add our now cooled onion mixture. And then last but not least, we're going to go ahead and add our breadcrumbs. But before we do, I want you to go ahead and grab a handful and squeeze out any excess milk. Right? We want these crumbs damp, and we don't want them dripping wet. And you're not going to squeeze a lot of milk out. But like I said, squeeze out what you can. And then we'll add the crumbs to the mixture. And then we'll go ahead and take a spatula and mix that entire thing together thoroughly. And of course, the reason we're using moist soaked crumbs is because dry crumbs pull moisture away from the meat. But if we use moist crumbs, that doesn't happen. So you end up with a much moister, much more tender product. And as it starts to come together, you can really see how much filler we have in here. All right, by the time we're done, this meatloaf's only going to be basically half meat, which is great news for you people that enjoy America's fast food chain. So we're going to keep mixing until it looks like that, at which point we're going to transfer that into a lightly greased baking dish. All right, use something nice and large, a couple inches deep is perfect. And then what you're going to do is you're going to wet your hands and form this into the classic loaf shape. So I think about 4 or 5 inches across is perfect, and about 3 inches high or so. And by the way, a cake might be fine to hide a small little file in, but with the size and shape of this thing, you could totally hide a hacksaw, allegedly. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and manipulate that meat mixture into an appropriately shaped loaf. And then if you want, you could bake it just like that. But personally, I do like to glaze my meatloaves and or cook them in sauce. And because I am doing a meatball-inspired version, I decided to go with a tomato sauce. And the reason it's that color is because I added some balsamic vinegar, which I thought would be totally amazing, which was totally not amazing. But I'll talk about that in the blog post. I'm going to recommend you just use your favorite tomato sauce. But anyway, I ladled that into my dish, as well as over the top. And in addition to flavor and color, it's also going to make for a beautifully moist cooking environment, which always works when baking meatloaf. And once we've covered that surface in the sauce, we're going to go ahead and transfer that into the center of a 325-degree oven for about 1 hour and 10 minutes, or until we reach an internal temperature of about 155. All right, one of the few ways to screw up a meatloaf is to overcook it, so check with a thermometer if you can. And after about 1 hour and 10 minutes, mine looked like this. But anyway, once you pull your meatloaf out, you should probably let it sit there at least 10 minutes before you slice into it. And if you don't, I'm going to hear about it. Oh, someone will drop a dime on me. So let it rest a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and slice in and start to analyze this alternative and I think fascinating version of meatloaf. Now, normally I would slice this with my shiv, but it was in the dishwasher. So I'm just going to use a regular knife. And other than the fact I didn't like the balsamic vinegar in the sauce I used, this was absolutely delicious and very, very meatball-like. And in addition to the extreme tenderness, it's also going to remain incredibly juicy. I mean, look at that. I mean, is that not the juiciest meatloaf you've ever seen? So anyway, let's go ahead and cut a proper slice. Even though the flavors were kind of an Italian meatball theme, I still went with some mashed potatoes. And I also served it with a little bit of arugula, but I really think any kind of tossed salad would work here. And even though I wasn't crazy about my particular sauce, I decided to go ahead and garnish with it anyway, you know, for the sake of the pictures. But anyway, that's it, what I'm calling prison-style meatloaf. Like I said, every once in a while, I do like to use this method. If made properly, my meatloaf should bring all the boys from the yard, and they'll be like, it's better than mine. And if you do give it a go, I think you'll find it guilty of being fantastic. So I really do hope you give it a try.
There you go. Prison-style meatloaf.
Yo, he is interesting to watch. Yo.
Chef, what is wrong with that man? What has happened in his life?
Oh my goodness, right? Like I said, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. You know what's coming, right? You guys missed all this, right? All this action, right? All right, so on the screen is my production sheet for tomorrow, okay? that is what I got. We're going on tomorrow. I got meat, ground beef, 8 ounces, breadcrumbs, 6 ounces, maybe less than that. Salt to taste, pepper to taste, eggs, one, onions, small dice, about 3 or 4 ounces, garlic, about maybe a teaspoon, green bell pepper, about 2 or 3 ounces, okay, ketchup for the sauce. I have about 4 ounces. You guys got a cup. Brown sugar, 2 ounces, pepper to taste, rosemary, 1 ounce. Worcestershire sauce, 2 ounces, red wine vinegar, 2 ounces, mashed taters. I got 1 potato, peeled, cut, and boiled, butter melted, about 2 or 3 ounces, heavy cream, about 2 ounces, salt to taste, gravy, because I got to make gravy too, butter, flour, milk. You guys love bechamel. We made this recipe. Butter, green beans, okay, easy to make. And what else? Yeah, that's my production sheet for tomorrow. And there's the pie dough recipe, which you don't have. So if I were you, I'd take a picture of it and log it in. That's for the oyster crackers. Bread flour, which you have. Pastry flour, you don't have. Okay. Remember, pastry flour is 2 to 1. 2 AP, 1 cake flour. Okay. Chef Gary should have given you a demo on pastry flour for about an hour and 2 to 1. Just saying. Okay. Butter, salt, and cold water. And I pulled the recipe from 2-1 on the pickles. Okay. Excuse me. So again, that's my production sheet for tomorrow, guys. Any questions about tomorrow's menu?
Can you say it over? I just want to make sure I got everything.
Like which one?
The whole menu. You said butter beans, green beans and all mashed potatoes, meatloaf.
Meatloaf, the sauce for the meatloaf, mashed potatoes, gravy, groovy,
Great.
butter, green beans, the pie dough for the oyster crackers for the next day, the brine for the pickles for barbecue day. So 7 recipes tomorrow.
Okay. Also, we can put all of that on one production sheet, right?
Yes.
That's what we're doing. Okay.
Yep. Can you see mine on the screen, Ms. Alanda?
Yes.
Ain't no crime taking a photo picture and then put it into your production sheet.
Okay, well, blow it back up for me, sir. Could you blow it back up for me?
All right. Let's see if I can put it up a little higher. But if I blow it up, you can't see the whole thing. Only segments. There it is. And just
Smart one.
transfer all that info in your own words to your production sheets. Okay. So that's one. And this is the second part. Got it? All right. Now, I got mine on Google Docs. So see at the bottom tab, I got day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. They're kind of small, but they're all days there. I got them all down to day 29. And I will be putting up on the screen so you guys can see what they're supposed to look like, so you guys can make your own, okay? Keyword share, right? Right, Ms. JC? Right, Mr. Moses?
Yes, sir.
So that's it for tomorrow. Let's take a look at Wednesday. Wednesday, we go to the Northeast. Okay. Wednesday. New England tribes, Northeast cuisine. Okay. Before the British immigrated to Native American tribes in North America had already occupied the land for hundreds of years. In fact, much of what European settlers learned about harvesting crops and surviving in the new land was adapted from the Native Americans. The Pilgrims in process, right? Thanksgiving. Native American food. They supplemented these foods with foods obtained through hunting, fishing, gathering. Many modern foods such as cornbread, hominy. Yes, hominy. They did not just come from Mexico in pozole. Johnny Cake, clam chowder. By the way, there are 2 styles of clam chowder. We're going to make one of them on Wednesday. What's the other one style? What's it called? And it's from the East Coast too.
I mean, like white versus red clam chowder?
Red clam chowder. It is called Manhattan clam chowder because of the Italian influence in Manhattan. The Manhattan clam chowder is a broth soup, not a cream soup. Does have carrots and does have tomatoes. New England doesn't have that. So there's Boston or New England clam chowder and there's Manhattan clam chowder. 2 styles. Anyways, in other words, had the origins of the Aboriginal cuisine of New England. Overall, the diet of the New England natives prior to the European invasion seemed to have healthier than the ones of Europeans at the same time. Indian people consume a great variety of different plants, both domesticated and wild, maybe some mushrooms along the way, just so they can have a nice trip, as well as fish, fowl, and meat. Among other things, food was freely shared. The better diet when the food was shared resulted in people who were often larger than Europeans. Okay? European immigration, the first Europeans to settle in New England were pilgrims. The colonial New England meal consisted of dry salted codfish, bacon, cabbage and turnips, brown biscuits and butter, apples, white crackers, Indian pudding, and beer. Man, imagine living off that diet. Cholesterol sky high, high blood pressure sky high. Geez, Louise, that's a lot, right? But again, they got to build up for the wintertime. Products of the New Englands, again, cornbread, and yes, hominy, not just from Mexico. I love my hominy, my pozole. That's about it. Not a menudo. Johnny Cake and cobbler. Okay. A huge England tradition. One of them is New England clam bakes. Anybody has ever had them, familiar with it, or known about them? Clam bakes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like the New England version of like if somebody does a crawfish boil down here.
Bingo.
So it's that same energy, same. It's nothing but boiled seafood, corn, potatoes, as far as you can see.
Instead of crawfish, Maine lobsters, right? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a tradition somewhere where it's like an overboil, and the fire department has to be there for it because they're the ones that cause the bonfire to cause the overboiling of the food, which is hysterical. But it's cool. It's cool to see.
So in New England, they would go out to the beach, dig a hole in the beach, get the coal started, the firewood started. They put the pot inside, get some all the kinds of seafood, some water. So sometimes they would use ocean water too. All the seafood, the corn, potatoes, mussels, clams, oysters, lobsters, and then covered with the seaweed, and then it cook on the ground. And they will come and get it a few hours later, and just have a huge spread up on the tables, the picnic tables up on the beach. People on the East Coast, they do that, but in the backyards, they dig a hole in the ground. That's where they cook the clam bakes. So yeah, they're big in the East Coast. So New England clam bake is a traditional method of cooking seafood such as lobster, mussels, crabs, soft-shell clams, quahogs. The food traditionally cooked in steaming and ingredients over the layers of seaweed. Shellfish can be supplemented with vegetables such as onions, carrots, corn, and the cob. Clam bakes are usually held on festive occasions along the coast of New England. Method again, typical clam bake begins with gathering seaweed. Traditional is rockweed. At the shoreline, seaweed is an important adjunct to cooking the food. To keep the seaweed fresh, necessary to have a container large enough to hold both the seaweed and a fair amount of seawater. And this is what they look like, the clam bakes. Again, it's a giant crawfish boil, but it's from the East Coast. I've done it before, and man, oh man, yeah. We had a lot of catering events that called for a clam bake up in the East Coast in New York, and I used to go to town. I'm like, I don't care, I'm gonna eat my share. Other Northeastern dishes: Boston baked beans, Newport clam chowder, Irish boiled dinner, corned beef, lobster stew, Boston cream pie, Boston brown bread, Adamant bread. Okay, go ahead, bite the Big Apple. There's your Reuben sandwich. Nothing exemplifies the American melting pot like New York City, arriving from places immigrants enriched the city with culinary traditions. Jewish specialties like pastrami and all manner of Italian and Chinese dishes tantalize New Yorkers before gradually being absorbed into the culinary culture of the entire country. Russians, Puerto Ricans, coño. And the Middle Eastern Greeks, list of those who have added the flavor of New York City spans the globe, making New York's boroughs special to the world cuisines. Reuben sandwich and New York cheesecake. Now, there are two types of cheesecake. I don't know if Chef Gary talk about it. You guys know the two types, two styles? There's one, New York cheesecake.
New York, that's the only one I know.
So talk about New York. What does it look like?
You said talk about the New York one?
Yeah.
It's just thick, boring, plain cheesecake.
Yeah, like sometimes like a strawberry drizzle with raspberry
Yeah,
or something.
but it's
on it.
really thick on its top. I mean, it's thick.
It's thick, but the top
Oh,
is brown
Yes.
because you don't cover it when it's baking. You uncover it.
Okay.
Regular cheesecake, you cover it so it doesn't have the golden brown crust on it. That's the only difference.
Oh.
Oh, didn't Chef Gary talk to you guys about this?
I will ignore that shade.
I'm sorry, he was talking about activating the yeast for 2 hours. My bad. So New York cheesecake. Notable nibbles to the Northeast. In Pennsylvania, Italian immigrants created what would become the famous Philly cheesesteak. Not to be truly legit, use cheese whiz. Oh, hell no. While Americans of German descent developed warm, comfortable foods like chicken pot pie and regional wonders like scrapple, shoe fly pie, that's where it got its name from, and the soft pretzel up north in Vermont, formidable cheddar cheese industry took shape in the rival of the best farmhouse cheddars of England. All across New England, clam shacks also serve up the main classic, the lobster roll. Popovers, Vermont maple float, Vermont apple pie, shoe fly pie, and apple butter. Have you guys ever had apple butter from the orchards? It is to die for. Apple butter. Oh man. If you have somebody that has an apple orchard, they will definitely make apple butter with those apples. Tell them to give you some. Man, it's like, oof, on some toast. Man.
Very good.
Yes.
It's very good. It's very good and very bad.
But it's delicious, right? It is worth every suckling bite. For God's sake, 17th century, the waters of the North Atlantic were said to be stuffed with cod, when the person could bound from boat to boat across the glistening backs. As with the bison of the prairie, the seemingly infinite cod proved all too infinite. Though depleted overfishing, cod, most of the Pacific cod now, remains a very popular fish nationwide. Oyster, clam, and lobster industries have also thrived in the Northeast. New England clam chowder, Shirley's main chowder, codfish cakes, Mom's oyster stew, and boiled lobster is one of them. What about Italian American? No one has contributed more foods to the American dinner table than Italian immigrants. The Northeast, a strong Italian American enclaves in New York City, Boston's North End, and South Philly have helped shape New American hybrid cuisine. Based on old world traditions, Italian American cuisine is marketed by enthusiastic appreciation for and appreciation of the New World's abundance, which translates into dishes piled high with meat, cheese, and sauce. Melissa's Cacciatore, New York style pizza, eggplant parmesan, which we are going to make when we go down to Italy, and world's best lasagna. Okay, the Americanizing restaurant, the Northeast played a major role in establishing Americans' restaurant culture. The classic American diner, both from the horse-drawn lunch wagons in the 1870s to takeout concept, got its start from Chinese restaurants in New York City during the 1930s. And in the high-end New York City's Delmonico's, whose doors opened in 1820s, set the standard for dining in America. Delmonico chefs are credited with inventing such wonderful dishes as the chicken a la king, eggs Benedict, and lobster Newburgh. We talk about Delmonico back in Foundations when we at the beginning, because they had the Delmonico steak. Anyways, beautiful eggs Benedict, the English muffin, the Canadian bacon, the poached steak, and the hollandaise. Okay, and of course your all-time favorite, Vichy Soir. Remember Vichy Soir from Foundations? The cold potato leek soup. Yeah, I know, it was better hot, huh? Beautiful swimmer for many food-minded folks. Maryland means one thing: blue crab, delicious crab cake is the best I've ever had. Fast-moving crustaceans, the beautiful swimmer, populates the waters of Chesapeake Bay and features prominently in crab cakes and soups. Often is simply packed with dry spices and steamed whole in beer. Many crab houses prepare their own spice blends. This spicy seasonings blend were influenced by former slaves in the Caribbean who brought tastes of our island spices when they resettled around the Chesapeake Bay. So your menu for Wednesday, again, New England clam chowder. It's a one-pot wonder, guys. I know the recipe says make a clam velouté. Nah, we ain't got time for that. I got bronchitis. Bye, Felicia, right? So we are going to, you know what's coming. We're going to take our bacon, render the bacon in a sauce pot with butter, okay? Remove the bacon, add your celery and onions, okay? Saute them a little bit. Add your flour, make your roux. Add your clam juice, add your clams, and your peeled cube potatoes. Bring it to a boiling point, turn the heat to low to medium, and simmer it for about 10-15 minutes. Add your heavy cream, stir it gently so you do not break the potatoes, and let it simmer for another 10 minutes. Taste it, season it with salt. Okay, salt is the last piece you're going to add to it, and maybe some fresh chopped thyme to give it that earthiness, that the herbiness flavor to it. That's it. Okay. Oyster crackers, you're going to take your pâté brisé from the previous day on Tuesday. You're going to roll it out as flat as you can, almost the width of your blade of your knife. And this is where it's going to get a little tedious. You're going to cut them like with the back of your pastry tip, okay? And you're going to put them in a sheet tray with a parchment paper and bake them in the oven to the golden brown at 350 degrees. They're supposed to be light and fluffy, not thick and heavy like a biscuit. Okay, we're not making mini biscuits, okay? Fish and chips, okay? Again, French fries, you guys know all about French fries with Dinaman Foundations. Do you know how to blanch the fries first and how to fry them the second time? The fish, you got to cut, split it into two, okay? Make the batter, set it aside, okay? And right before plate up, do your cod. Blanch your French fries, increase the oil to 350, fry your cod, and then go over the French fries afterwards, okay? And Boston baked beans, okay? So you guys have the advantage of starting these before class. The Boston baked beans, you're gonna mix all the ingredients first, set them aside, cook your navy beans. Once you cook, take them out, strain them, mix in your sauce, your ketchup, molasses, mix them into the beans, put them in a container, foil, and bake them in the oven for about 20-30 minutes. Done deal, okay? So my suggestion would be for you guys on Wednesday, start the clam chowder, start the baked beans, okay? Go back and do your oyster crackers. And then while the oyster crackers are in the oven, do your French fries, make your batter, increase the oil, or the clam chowder should be done. Boston beef should be coming out of the oven, okay? Boston beef should be coming out of the oven. And then you can fry your fries, your fish first, and then your French fries, okay? But you'll need tartar sauce, so you gotta make mayonnaise. Okay. Unless you buy store-bought, I'm okay with that. I ain't gonna judge you on that one. If you want to use mayonnaise store-bought, you can do that too, okay? If you do want to make mayonnaise from scratch, you remember how to make it in Foundations?
Yes, it was a painful memory.
So I'm gonna give you a different recipe on the chat for mayonnaise, okay, homemade, okay? Because yeah, we're not going to revisit the painful memory foundation no more. Okay. So mayo, egg yolks, 3 each. Lemon juice, 1 teaspoon. Dijon mustard, teaspoon. Cold water, 2 tablespoons, okay, salt, pinch, okay, canola oil, you're gonna grab those ingredients minus oil, your eggs, lemon juice, mustard, and water, put them in a quart mix cup. If you do have one of the immersion blenders, emulsify that first. And then once they've been emulsified, you're gonna slowly add your canola oil, slowly, while having the immersion blender on until the mayonnaise gets nice and thick. Done deal. You're gonna make the recipe times 2 because you're gonna use half for the tartar sauce this day and the other half for the next day when you make remoulade. Okay, so double the recipe of mayonnaise. And again, if you want to use store-bought, I'm good with that too. Okay. And the next day, you're going to be making shrimp and grits, crab cakes. Yeah, shrimp and grits. Hoppin' John, okay? And that's for, and then you're gonna make dark roux for gumbo. Dark roux should be the consistency of ganache. It should be like dark chocolate. That's what we're looking for, okay? If your dark roux doesn't look like that, your gumbo's not gonna come out right, okay? So that's it for Wednesday. Clam chowder, one pot wonder, right? We ain't gonna make no clam elote. We're gonna make it in one pot and go at it, okay? Fish and chips with tartar sauce, and then Boston baked beans. That's it Wednesday. Any questions on Wednesday?
Shrimp Brigadettes is on Wednesday too?
No, that's Thursday.
That's right.
Yeah, that's Thursday. Shrimp gets on Thursday. All right, let me show you my production sheet for what you call it? Okay. For Wednesday, okay. So you got the one for tomorrow, right? The meatloaf, okay. This is for Wednesday. Come on. There's my ingredients for the clam chowder. And again, it's a one pot wonder. Don't go making clam elote. There's my ingredients and my amounts plus my method for the oyster crackers. Okay, so you're not going to make this recipe for oyster crackers because you already got the pate brisée done on Tuesday. Okay, I just put it on there just in case. But don't be making this recipe because again, you got the pate brisée on Tuesday. I'm going to remind you that. There's my recipe for the beer battered fish and chips. Okay. And there's my recipe for the tartar sauce, reserving half the mayonnaise for the next day. And there's a second half for the Boston baked beans. Got it? All right. All right, all right, all right. Let's go take a look at Thursday. Thursday. Okay. East Coast and Low Country on Thursday. That's where we're heading on Thursday. Okay. Alphabetical order, the states in this region are Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, and West Virginia. Population in the southern United States is made up of many different people who came to the region by a variety of ways. American Indians native to the region, yeah, Oklahoma too, believe it or not. Not Midwest, borderline Midwest. European settlers to grow cooked corn, a grain unknown to Europe. Spanish explorers in the 1500s brought pigs with them, introducing pork to the region. Okay. West Africa has carried some of their traditional foods with them, such as watermelon, eggplant, collard greens, some bacon, some hemp hock stock, some all-purpose spices, a little bit of heat. Man, oh man. And bacon fat. And okra. Oh man, oh man. Oh yeah. Oof. Anyways, East Coast. French and Haitian immigrants who later immigrated with the Spanish settlers. The American Civil War in 1861-1865 had a major impact on the South and its food. Many plantations and farms were destroyed during the conflict. To survive, Southerners ate whatever they could grow, find, and nothing went to waste. When the economy began to recover, most African Americans were not allowed to share the newfound wealth and continued to eat the simple foods that were available during the war. This type of simply inexpensive food became known later as soul food. Oh yeah, from the soul. Low country cuisine, okay? The cooking traditional associated with South Carolina Low Country, okay, the Georgia coast, while the chef's feature with Southern cooking, its geographic, economics, demographics, and culture pushed its culinary identity in the different direction from regions in the fall line, which rich diversity of seafood, the coastal estuaries, this concentration of the wealth, Charleston, Savannah, and a vibrant African cuisine influenced Low Country cooking has strong parallels with New Orleans and Cajun cuisine, but it's not Cajun or New Orleans cuisine. Okay? Low Country includes the coastal regions of South Carolina and Georgia, where there's a difference of opinion as to what exactly South Carolina Low Country encompasses. The term mostly frequently used to describe the coastal areas of the South Carolina that stretches from the Paulus Island to the South Carolina to the confluence of the Savannah River at the Georgia state line. More generous accounts argue the regions extended further north and west include all the Atlantic coastal plains of South Carolina and Georgia. Geography is a critical factor of distinguishing the region's culinary identity from interior areas in the south. The rich estuary system provides an abundance of shrimp, fish, crabs, and oysters that were not available to non-coastal regions prior to the refrigeration. Marshlands of South Carolina also proved conducted to grow rice, and grain became a major part of the everyday diet. It is very similar to the Tidewater region of Virginia and coastal North Carolina as well. Foods that were traditionally part of the Low Country cuisine include Benny oyster soup, Low Country boil, Country Captain, Frogmore stew, shrimp and grits, shrimp category, oyster roast, crab cakes, Charleston red rice, perlo or chicken bog, salmon and rice, cooter soup. No thanks. Keep away that turtle from me. I don't like. She crab soup, sweet potato and crab soup, gumbo, okra soup, Brunswick stew. Again, shrimp and grits, catfish stew, Hoppin' John. By the way, Hoppin' John, if it's left over for the next, it becomes Skipping Jenny. Yeah, they say it tastes like chicken. I don't know. I'm not eating no turtle. I will eat.
I think it would be like alligator.
Oh, I love alligator.
I would think texture-wise, alligator does taste like chicken. It does. Texture and taste, it's pretty similar.
Little fish.
Alligator does not taste like chicken.
No,
Yeah, it does. If you do it right.
It's very salty.
it tastes like
Well, somebody put a lot of salt on yours. Mine doesn't taste salty.
It's delicious either way.
it is. But those-
Frog was the weird one for me. I don't know. Frog legs were the weirdest texture. It was like it fried like chicken. The texture was almost like chicken, but then when you look at it, it looks like fish, and it just threw me completely off. I was like, I can't finish this. I can't do it.
No, I won't do frog. To me, it's like eating two human little eggs. I'm like, no, no. Shrimp boil, also known as Low Country boil or Frogmore stew. I don't do frog legs. I'm sorry. There are two kinds of social gatherings in coastal Georgia and South Carolina that revolve around shellfish. One is very much like Louisiana boil, usually involving shrimp, corn on the cob, sausage, and red potato, sometimes ham, and it's considered part of the Low Country cuisine. Known variously as Frogmore stew or Beaufort boil, and Low Country boil or Tidewater boil, they tend to be a bit more milder than Louisiana cousins. For example, it's not unusual for a Low Country recipe to call for a mixture of hot and mild boil seasonings, whereas Louisiana recipe may start with crab oil packets and add large amounts of cayenne pepper. While shrimp are most often used in crabs, crawfish may be included and available, it's also a bit different from Louisiana boil, which usually involves just one kind of shellfish at a time. Frogmore stew is the name of the community in the middle of St. Helena Island near Beaufort, South Carolina. Although there are many versions of this dish around, the name Frogmore stew was coined in the 1960s by Richard Gay, one of the owners of Gay Fish Company, circa 1948 on St. Helena Island. Frogmore stew became far better known after it was featured on the cover of Gourmet magazine in the 1980s and is enjoyed by all. With this time, to this day in 2005, the Travel Channel featured Richard's brother, Charles Gay, cooking Frogmore stew in his popular program, Taste of America with Mark DiCarlo. The Low Country boil may have possible influence from Louisiana, but there are some obvious similarities to some of the dishes of the cuisine in Louisiana. In some showcase the same set of French, Spanish, African, and Caribbean influences, including the slave trade influence of Louisiana, known for meals for large gatherings of people will have been made as quickly as possible with readily available foods. The boil was quick and easy way to prepare all the foods at once. The most well-attended function to feature Frogmore stew occurs July 10th, the Beaufort Water Festival. In the 54 years, the festival has grown to be the largest totally volunteer-run festival in the southern eastern coast. Event features 2,400 people. Recipe includes 1,200 pounds of shrimp, yes, 2,400 ears of corn, 600 pounds of sausages, 72 ounces of seafood seasonings, and is served with 350 pounds of coleslaw, 250 gallons of iced tea, and 2,400 rolls and 90 watermelons.
It's the bomb. That festival is the bomb. If y'all never been, y'all have to go. It is amazingly good.
I'll pass out if I do that.
I mean, but you'll be happy.
Oh, very.
You'll pass out, but you'll be happy.
I'll be like, with a smile.
with a smile. Defibrillator.
I'll skip the iced tea. I'll skip the dinner rolls. I'll go straight for the shrimp and the watermelon. Yep, that's what I'll do. Oof, man, oh man, I can just imagine. Oh, geez. In order to get a good idea of what low country cuisine is, really you have to divorce it from a good old Southern cuisine. For instance, you'll find fried green tomatoes in a lot of restaurants serving low country cuisine, and this guy's opinions, just Southern cuisine and not limited to the low country. So one way to classify might be the use of ingredients that came from North America through the low country, whether it be by colonists or African slaves. That then serve as staples of the region's inhabitants. Some of these immigrants may be widespread of the use today, but because of the historical connection will always be associated with low country. So a dish that uses rice as its primary ingredient, such as chicken bok, will be considered low country versus Southern because rice was such a staple during the low country throughout history. In addition, the historical component, there is also a contemporary component to what is now considered the low country cuisine. There's where a dish like shrimp and grits come into play. Since the low country is coastal region where they obviously a lot of seafood used in the food here, shrimp, crab, oysters, and certain fish like red drum are all extremely common. Dish like shrimp and grits uses very common Southern ingredients like grits becomes low country cuisine with the inclusion of shrimp. Here's a traditional Southern meal, pan-fried chicken. Oh yeah. I remember when we were wearing foundations. That was a good day. That was a damn good day. Black-eyed peas. What you gonna do with that black-eyed peas? Come on, you know. Not this black-eyed peas, right? Not Fergie. Also known as field peas. Or next, what about hush puppies? Hush puppies.
Do you know why they were called hush puppies?
Hush. It's because they have so much cornbread, they eat it, you like dry.
No, because during the time of slavery, when slaves would escape, they had scraps of cornmeal and corn, and they would fry it, and they would use it to feed the dogs to keep them quiet so they could escape. Hush puppies.
Hush puppy. Like I said, they're so dry, it'll eat like your saliva.
Yeah, but that's like ingenious. Like nobody thought of that.
Right?
Like hush puppies, throw them some of that food you fried real quick.
Yeah, because it'll dry the saliva. They can't bark or nothing like that. So they'll think about it. What's in it? Cornmeal, right?
Well, yeah, but I'm not gonna tell on somebody that feeds me.
No. I mean, so hey, hush puppies.
I'm gonna feed that to my dog when it doesn't stop barking.
Yeah, mine kind of stopped. So I moved from the other house I used to live at. So now he doesn't bark like he used to in another house. He used to echo all over the place. Collard greens, mustard greens, turnip greens, or poke salad. Man. Mashed potatoes, cornbread, or corn pone like polenta. Sweet tea, dessert, usually pie, sweet potato, chess, choux pie, pecan, or peach, traditional Southern pies. Sweet potato pie, oh man, oof, all day long. Other famous dishes, succotash or mint juleps. Mint juleps are the cousins of the mint mojito. Oh man. Throw some 151 in there, I'm all set. Maybe some Grey Goose. I don't know. Ham with red-eye gravy or country gravy. Red-eye gravy is a thin sauce, something seen in the cuisine of Southern United States and associated with low country ham of that region. Other names for this sauce include poor man's gravy, bird-eye gravy, bottom sop, cedar gravy, or red ham gravy. Gravy is made from the drippings of pan-fried country ham mixed with black coffee. The same drippings are mixed with flour and milk to create a base for the sausage gravy. Now, do you know why they call it red-eye gravy?
Assuming the blood.
I feel like it has to do with the hangover.
Kind of. You guys ever caught a red-eye flight?
Yeah, it's not fun.
What's a red-eye flight?
Like in the middle of the night.
Right. So red-eye gravy, you're coming off the club at 2 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm talking about? You're gonna hit that Denny's, that diner. You're gonna order some red eye gravy to keep you awake when you get home.
My trips were to Waffle House, but yes, I understand what you're referring to.
And that's what red eye gravy is served, because the black coffee is supposed to keep you awake, keep you a jolt, so you can get home safe. So,
It made me flash back. It's hilarious.
oh, Jack Daniels. Oops, did I say that? Sorry. Red eye gravy. Sausages, pit barbecue, hot sausages, fried catfish, and red rice. Again, catfish. The best one is channel catfish, because it's swimming. Farm catfish is sitting, so it's not swimming. And if you're from Oklahoma or near Oklahoma, you all know all about the blue and gold sausage. Oh yeah, best sausage that I ever had. It only comes once a year. Once a year. And you can only get it in Oklahoma or close to the state borderline in Texas, like Wichita Falls in Texas. You can get the sausage there too. Man, I had it. Never forget it. Anywho, fried green tomatoes, okra, and bread pudding. So some whiskey sauce. A little history of shoe fly and Hoppin' John. Shoe fly pie, as others have said, it mainly a pie made with a souffle like molasses. It's very, very sweet. Molasses is what they make the gingerbread out of it. Not only all the spices are involved. If you ever had molasses cookie, the flavor is kind of like that, but much richer and deeper. And it has the consistency of a cream pie, pecan pie, without the nuts. It is too sweet and rich, but these days much less to do with the shooting the flies away from the tradition. Really, it shouldn't make you lose your appetite. In the old days, all pies had a lot of flies gathering around it, but this one just had a lot more because of the sticky molasses. So Hoppin' John, also known as Carolina peas and rice, it's a peas and rice dish served in the southern United States. It is made with black-eyed peas or red cow peas such as iron and clay peas in the southern eastern United States. And rice, chopped onions, sliced bacon, seasoned with salt. In some recipes, instead of bacon, ham hock, fatback, or country sausage, or smoked turkey parts are used. A few green peppers or vinegar and spices smaller than black-eyed peas. Field peas are used in the low country in southern South Carolina and Georgia. Black-eyed peas are the norm elsewhere. Southern United States, eating Hoppin' John on New Year's Day is thought to be bring prosperous years filled with luck. The peas are symbolic of pennies or coins, and coin is sometimes added to the pot left on their dinner bowls. Collard greens, mustard greens, or turnip greens, chard, kale, cabbage, and similar leafy greens, vegetables served along with the dish are supposed to further add the wealth, since they are the color of American currency. C notes, cash money, greenbacks, dead presidents, right? Moolah, dinero, pesos, right? Another traditional food, cornbread, can also be served to represent wealth, being the color of gold. One day after New Year's Day, leftover Hoppin' John is called Skipping Jenny. I don't know who came up with that idea. Anyways, and further demonstrates one frugality, so bringing hope for an even better chance of prosperity in the new year. So here's your menu for Thursday. Shrimp and grits. Oh yeah. Good. Shrimp and grits. You know how to cook grits until they're nice and soft and al dente, not crunchy. You got to have enough stock to go with it. My suggestion would be peel the shrimp, make stock out of the shells, and use that to flavor the grits, the liquid from the grits. Because again, it's shrimp and grits. So shrimp is supposed to be the predominant flavor, and the grits afterwards. Okay. So peel and evade the shrimp, use the shells, make stock out of it, and cook the grits in the shrimp stock to give it more of a shrimp flavor. Okay. Then of course, then you can add your cheese after that. And then cook your shrimp separate and garnish it with the shrimp. Okay. Crab cakes with remoulade. Crab cakes. All I gotta say is don't be ashamed. Okay, we're gonna watch a little video on how to make crab cakes. Okay. Crab cakes. It's all about the night cuts. And Hoppin' John. So Hoppin' John, here we go. I'm gonna put in the chat how we're gonna cook rice in this class for the next 6 weeks, because we're gonna be cooking so much white rice, steamed jasmine rice, that we got a lot of things going on, but we don't have time to watch it in the stovetop, okay? Because we're not cooking this rice in the stovetop. Got it? So here it is, rice, okay? On the chat. The ratio is rice, 1 part, or 1 cup. water, 1.5 part, or 1 cup. Both together, okay? There you go. Okay. That is how we're going to cook rice, steamed jasmine rice in this class for the next 6 weeks. Okay. And it's going to come up quite often. Don't try to put the rice in the water in the scale. Okay, no, no, no. 1 plastic measuring cup full of rice. Take that physical cup, fill 1.5 with water, put in a cake pan, aluminum foil, pop it in the oven, done deal. That is it. I'm not sure Gary will have a count, me saying that to you guys, but me. So that's how we cook rice. Okay, and then you're going to cook the black eyed peas separate, season them. When the rice comes out, put them in the bottom of the bowl, and then put your black eyed peas on top. Do not mix them together, otherwise it'll look like dirty rice. You got to emphasize the white of the rice in your rice cooking skills, and then the black eyed peas on top. Okay. Do not mix together. Okay. Rice on the bottom, black eyed peas on top. Okay. That's for Thursday. Okay. And you're also going to make French roll dough. Okay. So Thursday we're going to make the French roll dough. We're going to retard overnight because Friday, guess where we're going? Nola.
Dirty South. Dirty
New
rice.
Orleans.
Because I got 5 on it.
Oh wow. Okay, I'm watching you too now.
I actually had to talk to you about that, chef, because I didn't realize I booked my trip to New Orleans during this block.
Ooh, okay.
So I'll probably have to do my cooking ahead of time on one of these.
That's fine. So we're doing chicken and seafood gumbo shrimp, okay, on Friday, okay, and it's all about the dark roux. So dark roux, you need to make it the day beforehand. It takes 2 hours to make, okay, low and slow until it becomes the color of dark chocolate and the consistency of ganache, okay. If you have that consistency, the color, you're good with the gumbo. So the gumbo, okay, we're going to render our fat, our bacon, add a little bit of butter, remove the bacon, sear your chicken, skin on, bone in, remove the chicken, hit it with your Holy Trinity. Do you guys know what Holy Trinity is all about? What's in it?
The Holy Trinity is onion, celery, and green bell pepper.
So remove that chicken, add your Holy Trinity, saute it, put the chicken back on, put your stock, your other ingredients, bring it to a boiling point, drop it to simmer, and you're going to hit it with the spices, your gumbo filet, your Old Bay spice. Ooh, cup of coffee. Never heard that one before. Old Bay spice, gumbo filet, your okra, the rest of the ingredients on it, and your dark roux. You're going to bring it to a boiling point and drop it to a simmer and let it simmer. Stirring it once in a while to break that roux in pieces. As it simmers, the thickness is going to come from the roux and also from the gumbo filet, and some of it the okra. Okay, let it simmer for about 20-30 minutes and taste it as you go. When everything's all fused together, then you're going to hit it with a little bit of salt. Okay, and the last thing that goes in is you're peeling the vein shrimp, because shrimp cook in less than 2-3 minutes. Okay, and there you go. Chicken and seafood gumbo, delish. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it's about a 2-hour time process. So you got to start that as soon as possible with Friday. Dirty rice. Now, how do we cook rice in this class?
In a cake pan in the oven for 30 minutes at 350.
Correct. And then on the side, you're going to saute all the ingredients along with the chicken livers. Once it cooks, set it aside. When your rice is done, take it out, uncover it, fork it a little bit, and then fold in your cooked chicken liver so the rice, and it becomes dirty rice. Easy does it, guys. Easy does it. It's a no-brainer, okay? And then French rolls. Okay, French rolls. You know how to bake. And then beignets. So my advice to you, start your gumbo first. Pull your French dough out of the refrigerator, proof it. Okay. While it's proofing, your gumbo is going. Okay. And then go ahead and cook that rice in the oven. So you got gumbo on the stovetop, bread proofing, rice in the oven, cook your chicken livers, set them aside. Your rice comes out, fold them into the chicken livers, put them aside. Your gumbo's still going. Bring your French roll out, shape them, proof them again. Make your beignets dough. Okay. Your French bread is proof. Egg wash it, pop it in the oven. Cut your beignets and start frying them. So there's going to be a lot of kind of like back and forth, but if you follow that same pattern, the same routine, you can be done in 2.5 hours. Okay, because it's a lot on Friday. That's what we're making the dough the previous day. That's what we're making the gumbo the previous days. So we're not struggling to stay afloat on Friday. Because it is Friday, right? It's TGIFFAF. Right? So, all right, let me go back and pop in the video about beignets. Disregard this guy. He's a sales pitch for cottonseed oil. You'll see in the video. No worries, it's not Chef John. Today we're making beignets. No, it's not him.
No more jokes about shanks inside the meatloaf.
No. Oh, by the way, I forgot to show you the crab cakes. I'm gonna show you the
With
video
the Capital One Venture Card
for crab cakes first, okay, guys? So hold on to your hats. Let me go back and let's pop in the video about crab cakes, okay? There we go, okay? Can you see it? All right,
Amazing crab cake.
let me go back and pull the full screen on, okay? All right, here we go. Crab cakes. I gotta make sure I got the video again. Okay, crab cakes. So crab cakes. All I gotta say, do not be ashamed. Take a look. Crab cakes.
This is Shane. I've got 15 minutes to teach him how to make the most amazing crab cake without actually showing him anything. All he's going to be doing is hearing my voice, audio. On a scale of 10, how bad are you?
Pretty bad. I'd say a 2.
Okay, that's got me more nervous. 15 minutes. Your time starts now. Let's go. Okay, first things first. Take the crab.
Okay.
Okay, put it flat side down on the board like
Okay.
this, just like that.
Got it.
And then get your hands underneath, get your 2 thumbs in place at 6 o'clock, and you push up and you lift that up, and that's called the purse. Now from there, take these big legs off.
I think I took them all off, but all right.
Because there's no point in wasting time on the little legs. We'll be here all day. Get your cloth, put your cloth on top, get the back of your knife, and lightly crack the claws. That opens them up, and then look what happens from there. You sort of crack open, and then get your finger inside and beautifully slide out this incredible nugget of crab. Beautiful.
All right. I'm trying to get the nuggets.
Have we got the nuggets?
I'm not getting the nuggets.
Pinch the end here.
They're kind of pinching me.
They're pinching you. Shane, the crab is dead. Did you push hard enough on the knife?
Perhaps not.
Okay, so you've got to give it some welly, as we say in England, please, and crunch.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, you've got crab ready, yes?
Yes, I do.
Thank goodness for that. Right, let's start off with the bell peppers.
Okay. Right. So,
Top and tail, okay?
all right. What should I do with the crab, Gordon?
Okay, so put it back in the bowl and
Okay.
clear off your bench.
Okay.
Shane,
Yeah.
if you work nice and tidy, we'll produce a stunning crab cake. If you work in a mess, we'll produce a mess. Right, top and tail, your bell peppers.
Okay.
And then you take your knife and
Yeah.
slice down, slice around. That way we get rid of the bitter parts in the center. All we do now is form a beautiful julienne. Skin side's quite rough, so put the skin side down onto the board, and then from there, chop. Now, the secret of these peppers is to make sure it's small dicing, okay?
Okay. What do you
So-
consider small, Gordon?
I would say 1/2 centimeter.
Okay.
half
I
a
don't know.
centimeter.
I don't know metric.
You don't know metric. Shane, come on,
Yeah.
we are in the 21st century.
I'm sorry.
Now, once you finely dice
Yes.
all your bell peppers,
Yes.
lift them up into the bowl for your crab. With me?
Yes. They're in the bowl.
Good.
Now, the secret is to make sure that once they cook, they almost disappear. So make sure they're not big.
Okay.
From there, get your crab meat
Got it.
and flake the crab meat into the peppers. We're going to season the crab meat with salt and pepper. Open up the top of the pepper mill so we get a nice crunch of pepper in there. Salt, and then take your lemon and then zest that into the mixture. Now,
All right. Wait.
Spin the
I'm
lemon round.
getting my zest here.
keep up with me, please.
I'm doing my best.
Okay, take a little slice of the top of the lemon and squeeze the juice in there. From there, take an egg, beat up the egg, season that as well, salt, pepper as well.
Sorry, what am I doing with the egg?
So you just put the egg into the bowl,
The whole egg?
the whole egg,
Uh,
and you whisk. And then
Wait, I gotta
you
break
add
up the egg.
that in.
Wait, what's
So in that mixture there, Shane,
Yes.
okay, stay with me,
Got
a
it.
teaspoon of mustard, and a
Teaspoon.
teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, and then a little touch of cayenne pepper. And then Shane,
Yes.
I just want you to take that and smell the sort of bowl and make sure it smells nice and fragrant.
It does.
And then taste a little bit. Taste the seasoning. We can't season it after we've cooked it, so we season it.
Okay. It tastes good. I was a little spicy, to be honest.
That's the idea. When you cook it, we'll lose a bit of that spice. Now
Okay.
from there, lightly sprinkle your breadcrumbs over the mix.
All of it?
No, lightly sprinkle
Okay.
breadcrumbs over the mix.
Got it.
And Shane, what we're trying to do here now is use the breadcrumbs to bring the crab cake together. Take your sheet tray and then you take your cutter and you press the crab meat. The secret here
Yeah.
is to press the crab meat into the cutter. You know we're up against it time-wise.
I'm pressing.
Okay, so press it in there.
Got it.
From there, we're going to turn on a pan, wash our hands.
Washing my
You're doing a
hands.
great job for a minute, you know. Great job. Now, we're going to sit these into the pan. Turn your pan on to a medium high
Medium high.
at 80 degrees. Now, once that gets up to temperature, very carefully remove the cutter from your crab cake. And you've got two nice, perfectly rounded crab cakes.
Perfect. Gordon, so my circles are not perfectly circular here and a little bit misformed.
Shane,
Yeah.
first of all, don't blame the equipment. Take some responsibility. And I gave you a perfect set of cookie cutters.
Yeah.
So if they're not perfectly done,
Yes.
there's no reason why. You press them down, you put a little bit of effort and energy into the crab cake, and you mold it.
Okay.
With me?
I am with you.
Good. Now we can start cooking.
All right.
Take a teaspoon of olive oil into the pan, roll the pan round, and then from there, get your spatula under your crab cake, lift it up nice and gently.
Okay.
Okay. Nice thing is, across these crab cakes, there'll be no visual peppers because you will fine dice them
If
beautifully.
they're so
in a
finely
way-
diced, you wouldn't know there's peppers.
There you go. That's the
Got it.
secret.
Great.
Into the pan. The first
Okay.
one goes in at 12 o'clock. And the idea now is to get some color on those crab cakes,
To put some what?
to get some color.
Color.
No
Okay.
color, no flavor.
Got it.
Second one in
Okay.
goes at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. It's in.
Okay, great. Now, from there, now we're going to move on to the dressing. Okay, this is where it gets really exciting.
I
Take your
get-
mayonnaise, excuse me.
Mayonnaise.
Add your capers, 1 tablespoon of capers, 1 teaspoon of mustard into the mayonnaise. Take your chopped red onion.
I do not have chopped onions. I'm gonna have to chop it myself.
Here we go. You can take some of mine. There you go.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Okay.
Now, gently give your crab cakes a little shake. From there, take your
Shaking.
spoon and mix all that in. Take the other half of your lemon, squeeze the lemon juice in there, and then roughly chop the tarragon into the remoulade. Good?
The tarragon is what? What's the tarragon?
Tarragon, have a little
Oh,
taste.
no, I see it. I see it.
So like nice long strands.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, the salad. Take your radish, okay? Open up the radish. We're going to season the salad with the lemon juice and a little touch of olive oil. Now, we need to dress this salad very lightly, okay? Salt, pepper, with me?
I'm with you. I'm adding my pepper.
Great. And then
I'm
we take
adding
the
my salt.
spatula and we start to turn our crab cake.
Turn it.
Turn it.
Turn
very
it
carefully.
over.
Put your hand on the top at 12 o'clock.
Okay.
Listen carefully. Spatula underneath
Yeah.
and turn it.
Turn it over.
Beautiful. Turn it over.
Okay.
Good.
Looking good.
Ready for the most exciting part.
Okay. Great.
And that's to dress the plate. Take your salad dressing, lightly toss the dressing, and then want to create the salad at the top of your plate. Get your salad into almost like a sort of like a rose at the top of your plate.
Sorry. I'm
A rose. A rose. Remember the last time you bought roses?
Yeah.
There you go.
So imagine this
Wait,
rose
wait, with the
at the
salad?
top of your, yeah, we're creating a garden at the top of our plate.
I got it,
A
okay.
fresh, delicious garden.
Okay.
Get
Put
your
the plate on the board, put the
lemon.
salad on the plate.
Gently zest over the salad the fragrance of your lemon. Get your remoulade and spoon your remoulade at 6 o'clock and then run your spoon through it so it looks like a beautiful smear on the plate. Gently lift your crab cakes out, okay, and just place them on set like that. And then very carefully, we're going to finish it with a little drizzle.
Okay,
of
I'm
fresh
adding the
lemon
crab
juice.
cakes to the
And
remoulade.
then I'd like the plate absolutely spotless. And there we go. And that is how to perfect an amazing crab cake finished with a stunning remoulade and a fragrant salad like it's just been picked. Shane, are you with me?
I'm with you.
On the
I'm
count
ready
of 3, turn around and show me yours.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Holy fuck. Shane, did you drop it?
I didn't drop it.
Jesus
No, I
Christ
did everything you told me to a T. That looks a lot better. I want to eat that.
Jesus. Shane,
Sorry. go
you
ahead.
are bad.
Okay. I'm not sure that's cooked through, so I hope it'll be okay for you.
Shane, it looks like a dog's dinner.
I'm so sorry you have to taste this.
It's actually seasoned nicely, but the presentation is shocking.
Gordon, do you think I succeeded?
No.
Okay.
I know that was tough, and you hadn't touched crab before, but you were bad. But promise me you'll keep on trying.
You
What do you guys think about Shane?
Poor guy. He sounded like he never been in the kitchen like that before. Because he said top and tail. He like, what? Top and tail? I don't know what that is.
Oh, that was awful.
It definitely makes me feel confident. So if I screw it up, hey, I'm not the only person.
Yeah.
Oh.
So remember your cuts for crab cakes. Gotta be brunoise.
But like, yes, but remember to actually make a crab cake. What did he make?
Dogs
This
dinner.
is a pile of things.
It was a crab salad.
Yeah,
It
crab
was a pile of something. No, don't try to actually give it a name. That
That
wasn't
was a
real.
crab salad. I'm with you. I would have said that.
Y'all are nice.
when you make your crab cakes, don't be ashamed.
That should be the name of his dish, the crab Shane. That was specific to him.
Yeah, so that was a good one. Don't be ashamed. Let's take a look at beignets. And again, disregard this guy's sales pitch about
How do you reach?
cottonseed oil, because he's trying to sell that pitch. Okay, you guys see the video?
Yes.
Yes, I see the ad.
Let me skip this ad and put it on full screen. Here we go. Okay. Let me start from the beginning.
Hi, I'm Philip Dorwart. I'm the chef and owner of Create Catering and the Dining Studio of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today I want to make beignets for you. Beignets are a Mardi Gras favorite. They're a tradition in New Orleans. But you know what? There's nothing that says you can't make them all year round. Today we're going to make perfect Café du Monde style beignets. Café du Monde has been making these beignets for 150 years, so they must be doing something right. As with any recipe, we want to start with high quality ingredients. We're going to start with some yeast, some warm water, not too warm. If you go over 105, you might kill your yeast, and a little bit of sugar. We're going to whisk this all together and make sure that all the yeast dissolves in this bowl. The sugar helps activate the yeast. So if you're making this recipe at home, you'd let this sit for 12 minutes. It's called letting the yeast bloom. We'll pretend right now that it's been 12 minutes. In a smaller bowl, we're going to add our eggs. We're going to add our evaporated milk. And we're going to add our salt. We're going to whisk this together very well. It's nice and smooth. Won't take long. Just like that. Now we're going to take our egg mixture and pour it back into our yeast mixture. And we're going to whisk these together too, so it's nice and smooth. We're almost done already. So now we're going to take 3 cups of our flour and we're going to add that. We want to whisk this together until it just starts to come just like that. So it kind of looks like pancake batter. Remove that. And now we're going to add our shortening. Shortening is a key ingredient here because what we want to do, we want to make really nice, tender, pillowy style beignets. And this shortening will help cut gluten that might develop. Gluten is fantastic for bread and
So shortening. Did the Chef Gary talk to you guys about shortening and when you guys make some in baking and 201?
It was used. If we didn't have it, could use lard. And I have a ton of lard, so I use lard.
So shortening, it is what he just referred to it. Shortening shortens the gluten molecules, so they're not elastic. Okay. So when I do teach 201, I go into the different flours, the butter, and talk about shortening. Why is it called shortening? Well, it shortens the gluten molecules, so it's not as elastic. It becomes more crispier. And like I said, just said it in the video. Okay, let's keep that in mind.
Makes wonderful, chewy, crusty breads, but we want pillowy, tender beignets. Now we're going to add the rest of our flour. And again, we're going to stir and stir until it starts to come together. And once this starts to come together, we're going to turn it out onto our work surface. And then we're going to get kind of dirty here because we're going to knead this. And we want to knead it as little as possible, but it's enough to make it smooth. So as you can see, this is starting to come together. We're going to pull this out. I'm going to just stir it by hand just a little bit here. Now it goes onto our work surface to start kneading. You want to get all that flour that's still on the bottom there. Here we go. Start to knead. See how this is coming together already? So I want to fold it over. I want to turn it a quarter turn, and I want to push with my hand right down. Same thing. I'm going to fold it over and knead it. Fold it, knead it. Here we go. Now this dough is a little bit tacky. If you're used to making bread, this may throw you for a little bit of a loop. But rest assured, tacky is good in this case. So get into it, really. Let yourself work. Now it's starting to come together just about smooth. There we go. I can't feel any clumps at all. That's exactly what we're looking for. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another bowl. I'm going to add just a little bit of cottonseed oil here. And I'm going to spread this around. This is the bowl that our dough is going to rise in. So now, put our dough in the bowl. We want to cover it with a linen. Let it sit for 2 hours at room temperature. This is a key. Don't rush it. We need this to about double in size. All right, our dough has risen for 2 hours. And here it is. You can see how it's virtually doubled in size, which is just a wonderful, wonderful dough. It's very light and airy. So during that 2 hours, I also preheated our cottonseed oil to 370 degrees. Cottonseed oil is a perfect medium for frying beignets. It has a neutral flavor, really lends itself to delicate desserts. Cottonseed oil and beignet go back 150 years. That's a pretty long history, so I'm not about to mess with that. We're going to use 100% pure cottonseed oil for this. Our next step is to flour our board lightly, and we're going to turn out our dough. See how nice and airy that is? We're going to put a little bit of flour on top. I'm just going to rub that in. And now we're going to roll. We want to roll to about 1/4 of an inch. So not too thick, not too thin. There we go. By letting that dough rise for 2 hours, you can see all the air pockets here, and it makes it really easy to roll out. So now it's time to cut our beignets. We're going to cut just a little bit of a corner off here to do our test. Our cottonseed oil is 370 degrees. We want to test that temperature by dropping just a little piece of our beignet in, and if it floats within 8 seconds, which it magically did already, we know that our fryer oil is ready to fry a batch of beignet. I'm going to put a little bit more flour on top of here, and now I'm going to cut. Now, I like the traditional square beignets, but you can get a cookie cutter. You can cut whatever size or shape you want. There we go. So now I'm going to gently drop these in, and I like to use the basting method. And that means I just gently wash the oil over the top of the beignet. And this will help it puff up really quickly. This takes about a minute to a minute and 20 seconds to do. And we want to pull them out. We want to flip them when they're perfectly golden brown. If you don't have a fryer like this at home, maybe you have a smaller fryer, you can cut your beignets as small as you want. You can also use a cast iron pan with a thermometer. But I'll tell you, one thing that you have to have is 100% cottonseed oil. So now you can see, we flip these over, they're perfectly golden brown. About another 15 or 20 seconds. I'm going to continue to baste this side. Cottonseed oil is available at Bass Pro Shops, and it's also available at any number of other sporting goods stores. There we go. Now we're going to pull these right out of the fryer. They're just perfect. I'm going to let these drain for just a few seconds. At home, you can use a plate with a paper towel on it, let it drain for a few seconds. And then what you want to do is cover it in powdered sugar. And now we add these to the ones that we've already fried. And nothing will finish these off like a nice Cafe du Monde style.
There you go, beignets for Friday. So go El Chapo, go Scarface with the powdered sugar.
El Chapo, chef.
Yeah, say hello to my little friend. You gotta have the powdered sugar to go with it, okay? Go El Chapo. All right, let's take a look at the production sheet for this day, okay? So let me
Chef, quick question.
Answer.
Do you know anybody that shops for cooking oil at Bass Pro?
Anybody that cooks in cottonseed oil? No.
That shops for cooking oil at a Bass Pro shop?
No.
Oh, Elijah. Okay. Just Elijah.
Yeah. There we go. Okay. That is my production sheet for Thursday. Okay. There's my shrimp and grits recipe. There's the topping. There's the crab cakes. Okay. For Thursday. Got it? All right. Here's the bottom half, okay? The rest of the crab cakes, the Hoppin' John and the dark roux. So this day is quite a bit, okay? The only thing I don't have here is my French roll, which I'm gonna put here on it because you gotta make it the day up. You guys have the advantage of making it, way before class because you guys are home, okay? So that's Thursday. Let's take a look at Friday. Friday.
So beignets are for Thursday, not Friday?
Oh, they're for Friday.
Okay.
The dough is Thursday night though.
For the French rolls.
Yeah. Okay.
NOLA, New Orleans, happening Friday, okay? Louisiana cuisine, the Creole world has been traced back to the Spanish word criollo, which means local or native. The word was used to portray things that were part of the New World during the time of the French and the Spanish controlled Louisiana. Later, the word was used to describe the people from this region. Louisiana Creole cuisine is a style of cooking in original Louisiana, okay, with blends French, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, Native American, and African influences. Louisiana Creoles tended more towards the classical European styles adapted to local foodstuffs. Broadly speaking, French influence in Cajun cuisine descended from various French provincial cuisines of the peasantry, while Creole cuisine involved the homes of well-to-do aristocrats, but also imitated the lifestyles. Here are two famous people from Louisiana that we don't hear about: model Katie Albert and also TV actor Robert Andrew Richard. Okay, Creole. Cajun food comes from the deepest southern parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, like the area it originated from. Cajun flavor is spicy, rich, and really good. A lot of people don't know that typical Cajun food was developed by Sunni poor people, refugees, and farmers used what they had to feed large families. Both Creole and Cajun people are strongly influenced by French culture, but differences in development keep them distinguishable. Cajun referred to someone whose ancestors came from Acadia, a region that includes Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick. British were in control of the area in the early 1700s, and during the French and Indian War, they were afraid that Acadians would rise and fight with the French. British expelled them from the region between 1755 and 1763, an event known as the Grand Derangement or the Great Upheaval. Eventually, this displaced people arrived in Louisiana where they settled. Cajun versus Creole again. Cajun, alligator hunter, right? Don't get it mixed up. It's a great show. I can't understand what he's talking about, right?
For swamp people, yes.
Yeah.
Troy Landry is hilarious. He's my favorite person.
I like it when they go on the alligator hunting. Oh man.
Oh yeah, look at the size of that thing. Shoot him. Whole time.
The French cuisine Creole, Spanish cocina criolla is a style of cooking again. Louisiana sits in the crossroads of a large variety of immigrant influences. It's widely known as Louisiana was founded by the French. Those Louisiana Creole is placed in French aesthetics with an emphasis on complex sauces and slow cooking. The immigrants came to New Orleans in the French and Haitian revolutions and added further elegance to this Gaelic influence of the cuisine. Here's some of the appetizers: oysters Rockefeller, oysters Bienville, oysters and brioche, Rockefeller and shrimp remoulade. Soups: southern oxtail soup, delicious. Bisque, gumbo, and turtle soup. Main dishes: chicken Creole, chicken baked king, Creole baked chicken, crawfish etouffee, jambalaya, Middleton, pompanum papillote, rice and gravy, shrimp bisque, shrimp Creole, southern pork chops, and trout manure. Side dishes: red beans, dirty rice, smothered green beans with sausage and potatoes. Dessert: Creole bread pudding with vanilla whiskey sauce. And New Orleans, Louisiana, with banana Foster's, beignets, king cake, Dover's cake, praline, banana pudding, and beverages: Cafe Briolet, Cafe Lait, Ramos Gin Fest, and Sazerac cocktail. Creole classical dishes: egg sardou with Gulf shrimp added and grits on the side. Calas, grits and grillades, French toast, pain perdu or lost bread, condiments in Creole cream cheese, pepper jelly, remoulade, Creole mustard. Cooking bases: knowing how to make good roux is the key to Cajun Creole cooking. Again, the roux is what makes the gumbo. The technique was inherited from the French. A roux is a mixture made from equal parts of fat and flour, used especially to make a sauce or thicker soup. The fat and flour cooked together on the stove top until the mixture reaches a certain level of brownness. The darkest Creole roux is New Orleans are known to be lighter than Cajun roux, usually made with butter or bacon fat flour, but certainly Creole dishes are used a dark roux. Dark roux are usually made with oil or bacon fat and flour. The scent of good roux is so strong that it stays on the clothes until they are washed. The scent is so widely recognized in Louisiana that others can tell that someone is making roux. Another, and who often infer what they're making in the gumbo. The secret of making gumbo, again, is pairing the roux with the protein, similar to pairing the white wine with the protein. Again, dark roux is a dark roux. It's a strong, dense, nutty flavor with completely overpowering simple seafood gumbo. But it's perfect complement to gumbos using chicken, sausage, and crawfish or alligator. Chicken will just settle into the darker flavor, while sausage and dark roux balance each other well. A dark roux is approximately the color of milk chocolate. I said dark chocolate. Preparing a dark roux is complicated. It involves heating oil or fat in flour and very carefully. Constant turn to 15 to 45 minutes. It's going to take you at least 2 hours to make the dark roux. Okay, oops. Keep that in mind, okay, guys? Keep that in mind, okay? 2 hours to make the dark roux, okay, guys? That's how long it's going to take you to make the dark roux. So plan accordingly when you make it, okay? Spices. Creole spice blends such as Tony Cachere's or Rex King of Spice are sometimes used in Creole kitchens, but do not suit every cook style because Creole style cooking seasoning is often achieved from scratch, even by taste. While peppers are almost never used in authentic Creole dishes, ground cayenne, paprika, and peppers sauces predominate. Hot sauce, seafood boil mix, vinegar seasoned with small pickle hot green peppers are common condiment in many Creole meals. Persilat, marinades made with olive oil, brown sugar, and citrus juices. There is barbecue rub similar to those in the States. Creole seasonings, bay leaf, oregano, bell peppers, green or red, black pepper, cayenne pepper, celery, garlic, onions, bell pepper, onions, celery, used together again. We make the Holy Trinity. Parsley, flat leaf versus sassafras leaves, dried or ground. Okay. Also known as filet or gumbo or the choctaw. Okay. Dry shrimp, sugar cane, also cane syrup, brown sugar, molasses, also thyme. Okay. Here's some of the top 10 dishes in Louisiana you must try. Praline, bacon and Elizabeth's. 1 part bacon, 100%, 1 part praline, 100% amazing. Only found in this long time Baywater breakfast favorite. Burger and potato protocol. Burger, this French Quarter landmark, is gigantic, gooey, and obviously bad for you, and best when paired with a baked potato in the monsoon. That's too much. That's too much. Jambalaya Coop's place. Oh yeah. Beignets Café du Monde. We just watched the video about beignets. Okay. Baked Alaska and Antone's. Antone's show-stopping baked Alaska pound cake, ice cream, flambé meringue, usually associated with anniversaries, birthdays, and special occasions. But it doesn't mean you can't order one during the regular dinner. Just make sure to order in advance. Bananas Foster's and Brendan's. Brendan's signature dessert seems simple enough. Bananas cooked in butter and spices tableside and served with vanilla ice cream. But when the rum is added and the flames come out to plate, it's really one of the most delightful New Orleans experiences around. Plus, it tastes like best banana sundae in the world. Oysters Rockefeller at Galatours. Yes, Antone's created Oyster Rockefeller, made famous from the writings of MFK Fisher, but Galatour version is one of these to try. Souffle potatoes are not fine dining equivalent McDonald's addictive French fries, but filled with air like heavenly pillows and simply deliciousness. Brisket at Tujagues, a holdover from the days of the working man. It's a 160-year-old French Quarter restaurant. Friendly meat and potatoes dishes still satisfy. Lucky Dog from Lucky Dog Cart. Okay, they're not very good, but when you're drunk, hey, I remember going down to Tijuana from San Diego at Long Beach, coming back after the 3 o'clock in the morning and stopping to eat some tacos at Tijuana, street tacos. But man, once we crossed the state borderline, the borderline, you had to pull over, man, because yeah, you couldn't hold it. Delicious when you're drunk. Shrimp remoulade from Napoleon's house. Sure, Napoleon's house is known for the muffaletta and pinch cup, but the shrimp remoulade served in the top of avocado is ridiculously refreshing. Gumbo Duke's Chase. Rest in peace, Ms. Leah Chase. She passed away 2 years ago, guys. 2 years ago. Culinary world hurt for her passing. Many folks consider legendary Chef Leah Chase most iconic dish to the gumbo service, but that's only available only on Holy Thursdays. The rest of the years, the regular gumbo is available. It's among the best in town. Like I say, guys, rest in peace, Ms. Leah. She passed away 2 years ago. Okay. Fried chicken at Willie Mays, widely regarded as the best fried chicken in the country. Willie Mays is known for their decadent wet batter recipe. I'll bet a secret. Do yourself a favor, get some mac and cheese to go with it too. Pork and pate banh mi at Pho, Tua Bay. New Orleans is a large and vibrant Vietnamese population, meaning we also have some of the best banh mi in the country. Muffaletta Cochin Butchers. This is the most well-known muffaletta in town, but it's the best one, hands down. Thanks to Butcher's House, cured meats and olive salad combo that is set up just with the right amount of toastiness, and thirst and sesame seed loaf and melted cheese. Turtle Soup at Commander's Place, Landmark Garden District. Restaurants particularly wrote the book and Turtle Soup Al Sherry, which is not to be overlooked when it comes to fail-proof starters. Raw oysters at Casamentos. The seasonal oysters house on Magazine Street is a must visit to New Orleans. Natives and tourists alike. Story close in the summertime. You can't go wrong with the lesson Bibles and some of the entertainment conversation from the oyster shucker. Now, it is close in the summertime. Why is that? It is serve oysters. When are the oysters best to be consumed or harvested? What time of the year do you guys think it is?
Isn't it during the summer because of the temperatures in the water? No? Or is it winter? Winter.
It's time to harvest oysters and to eat them is winter time because it's a lot sweeter. Summertime, the water is too warm, so they don't have the right flavor. So wintertime is the best time to eat oysters. That's why this one is closed in summertime. Barbecue shrimp at Pascal's Manale, Uptown Denmark, became famous in New Orleans. Barbecue shrimp in the 1950s. It's not really barbecue, essentially Worcester butter sauce that makes sauteed shrimp so delicious. Ooh, yeah, in the wintertime is better. Snowball at Hansen's, back in with some 151 or some Everclear. This landmark snowball stand is what is it called? Chopolitas. It has been around for decades and is still regarded as the best around thanks to throwback digs, awesome service, innovative flavors, satsuma, cardamom, rosemary, hibiscus, and many more. Plus, they make their own bananas Foster's topping to order.
Chapatulas.
Throw some rum in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, officer, it's just a snowball from Hansen's. Pecan or pecan? It's a pecan or pecan?
Pecan.
I'm gonna go with pecan.
Pecan.
It's pecan pie.
Pecan
No,
Pecan.
is it pecan pie? Yeah, pecan pie.
Yeah, pecan
Pecan
pie.
pie. No, it's pecan pie.
No, did you put
Moses,
you
you
changed
right?
all those vowels?
Either the can pie or
Pecan.
pecan pie.
You changed every single one of the vowels.
So, what makes this iconic greasy spoons pecan pie better than the rest? A quick visit to the griddle to warm up a little pool of butter. Then when you ask for it so politely. Yeah, politely. Red beans and rice at Popeyes. Popeyes red beans and rice are a thing of beauty, but only in Louisiana. Anywhere else? No. I went down to Popeyes, sit down the street. No, never going there again. Charbroiled oysters at Drago's. Louisiana oysters are amazing, but Drago's makes it even more amazing by boiling over them and serving them with oozing with butter and melted sprinkled Parmesan cheese. King cake at many randazos during Mardi Gras pick a way to a huge line for this coveted classic. Roast beef po' boy at RO's, widely regarded as the best roast beef po' boy in all New Orleans. It's actually Bucktown near the lake, but worth a drive for a taste of heaven. Boiled crawfish at BB Seafood. BB Seafood serves up some of the best broiled seafood in town. Also try the Peacemaker po' boy and whatever frozen drinks available that day. Another location, Medellin. Okay. Today on your menu Friday is gumbo. Again, it's all about the dark roux, not about that base. It's all about that base. Okay, it's all about dark roux. So again, render your fat, add a little bit of butter, sear your chicken, remove your chicken, add your whole trinity, saute it, add your flour, add all the ingredients. Mine is the shrimp. Bring it to a boiling point, drop it to simmer. Slowly add your dark roux and your spices. It's going to get thickened up with the dark roux and your gumbo filet. Adds like a thickener too. Your shrimp is going to go at the end. Okay. Dirty rice. How do we cook rice in this class?
We cook it dirty.
In the oven for 30 minutes at 350.
Right. You're going to cook your chicken livers and your other ingredients on a saute pan. Set them aside. When your rice comes out, you fold them together, boom, you got dirty rice. Okay. French bread. You guys know how to make dough. You guys know how to proof it, how to shape it, right? Okay. You got have a sharp blade to go with it. If you cannot find one, Walmart has them in their tool section where they have all their box cutters. I found some old razor blades at HEB, I think, too. When you share with those things. If you don't have none of those blades to score it, use your paring knife, but make sure it's extremely sharp and spray with baker spray and then score your bread. The baker spray is going to prevent you from dragging that dough. Okay. And then dust it with flour to give it a rusted look. And of course, your bayonets al Chapo, al Scarface.
If you say that, Chef, you have to do the voice. Yeah. I lost my little friend.
So, beignets al Chapo. Be generous with the amount of sugar you put in, okay? You're going to have a spot of sugar challenge when you eat them because they're going to kind of like explode in your mouth and you're going to get a spot of sugar.
That was like my favorite part of Cafe Du Monde was taking some friends down there and they had no idea about that and they sat there and tried to inhale like a mountain of powdered sugar on top of the beignet.
Ooh, the powdered sugar is like.
One of them like he projected it to the next table. He ate it and just.
Oh man, I can just imagine. I can just see that. There goes a flying beignet. Speaking of flying beignets, in the Midwest, there's a restaurant called Lambert's. You guys ever been to a restaurant called Lambert's in the Midwest? So it's a very rustic restaurant, very country-ish style, kind of a, out there in the woods. But they don't have any china. They serve the food in saute pans and kind of a kitchen equipment. And the servers go around with buckets of sides, fried okra, whatever, with gloves. And there's a guy that specifically parks in front of the restaurant with a designated parking spot that has a name on it, a parking spot for the bread thrower. So you walk in the restaurant, order your food, and there's a guy with gloves with a bucket of fresh dinner rolls. You raise your hand across that room, he throws it and you catch it. Never misses. Lambert just.
Yeah, I've heard of this. Now you reminded me of it. Yeah.
But the rolls are so nice and fluffy, delicious. Oh man. Because you hear that slap. Oh, the French or the rolls, delicious. Anywho, that is the menu for Friday. We go out with a bang. Seafood gumbo. Remember to make the roux beforehand, a day or two beforehand, it's fine. Dirty rice pilaf. Now you know how to cook rice in the oven and then saute everything else together and fold it again in the rice. Your French rolls, you gotta know how to make rolls, and your beignets. We just saw a video on how to make the beignets. Mine is a cottonseed oil. Okay, that is what's happening Friday. Any thoughts about Friday?
What else could we use besides the cottonseed oil, like vegetable oil, any kind of?
Canola oil.
You said peanut?
No, canola oil.
Oh, canola. I was like peanut. Oh.
Oh, not peanut oil. Canola oil. Peanut is too expensive. So.
True.
Here is my production sheet for Friday. Okay. There it is. Boom. Shakalaka boom. Mr. Lava Man, Shaba. You guys miss me, right?
Yes. I have to have proof that you exist. My mom thinks I'm making
We
you up.
really did. We really missed you.
I do exist. Ain't going nowhere.
I was like, Mom, I got the chef from like Long Beach. And she goes, okay. I was like, he's off the chain. And she goes, I don't know. I'm like, oh no. Yeah.
I'm a goofball, but it's all about crew. It's all about having fun, right? So here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yo, say what? Say what? Say what? Let me clear my throat. Here you go. My production sheet for Friday. There's all the ingredients, there's all the amounts, and there's all the method for the gumbo. Okay. I put my gumbo like about an hour time limit. The rice, 30 minutes. Dirty rice, total time, 45 minutes. French bread for about an hour, and beignets for about an hour. Okay. And that's giving myself a little extra time. Okay. There's ingredients for the dirty rice pilaf. Okay. The methods and amounts. And there's the second half for the French bread and beignets. Got it? All right. So that's what we're looking for this week. Okay. Any thoughts so far about what's happening this week?
So should like Tuesday or Wednesday we should make the roux? I'm trying to make sure I make it in an appropriate time frame.
I said the best time, not Tuesday, because you got too many things going on. Wednesday would be the appropriate time to make it, because Wednesday, yeah, because when you're making the New England clown chowder, you can make the roux right next to it.
Okay.
They take a bit, yeah, right next to it, so on the burner right next to it, so you can see the roux getting darker, and you can baby the clown chowder. Okay.
Okay.
So Wednesday will be the perfect time to make the dark roux. Now, how much butter should you utilize? About at least have what is it? 4 to 6 ounces. I usually make about half a pound of butter, and that makes way too much roux. Okay. So if you have that much butter from last block, if you have a whole bunch of butter in your freezer, you can do half a pound of butter melted, and then that's what 8 ounces. So you can go 10 ounces of the flour, 60-40, and start making the roux. Low and slow. Do not use your rubber spatula. Use a wooden spoon to stir that butter into the flour.
You said a wooden spoon?
Yes, preferably a wooden spoon, not your rubber spatula, because you're gonna melt it. And then Thursday, make that French roll dough. You can make it before class starts or after class. Okay, let it retard overnight. Okay. And what else? And then of course Friday we got gumbo, dirty rice. Yeah, just don't forget how to cook the rice, because man, we got so many things going on. I mean, look at Friday. You got gumbo, dirty rice pilaf. You got French rolls, beignets. You got about 4 recipes that are labor intense. You got no time to be messing around the stovetop with rice, right? Cake pan, oven, put the timer, let it go. Done deal. Take it out and just fork a little bit. Done. Rice is done. So any thoughts so far about what's happening this week? Your first week of regionals.
Lot.
You would like to see the production sheets before class, or like when would you like us to, do you want us to submit them, like email them to you, or is there a place to upload?
Email them through Google Docs. So I got mine in Google Docs. I can go to my Google Docs, open that drive, and type my name and pull all the things that I've done in Google Docs, and those come up. I even have all my culinary arts and foundations production sheets there too. Yeah, see, I could have been showing you all the 201 production sheets on that block. No, you guys went and had Chef Gary. I'm sorry. You know, I gotta give you a hard time.
I don't even know how that happened, Chef.
Yeah, so get them all in Google Docs. You can either fill them up as daily as you go, or over the weekend, knock out all the weeks, and just email me once when I open it. I can go back and type your name on the Google Docs and open up your name and then your production sheet. Now, when you don't have to send them every single day, but if you want to send them every single day, that's fine too. I'm okay with that too, okay?
So at the end of class or at the end of the week, pretty much.
Preferably before class starts. So I know you guys are well prepared for the next production, okay? See, like right here on the screen, I don't know if you guys can see that.
We can see it.
That's my 2-1 production sheets that I share with my class when they come into my class. So first day is panna cotta, pastry cream, okay, easy day. Maybe a coulis. And second day is a pat de choux. Right, not this one. Let me get rid of that one. And that's it, okay. And apple pie day. So I got them all here for 2-1 that also I share with my students. So when they go in, like, here's what it's supposed to look like. You want to take a picture and then transfer it to your name, then go ahead. But they're all there. So I practice what I preach. I love cooking. I love food. Right?
Chef, quick question. For the devil's food cake that you said you did for 201, was that the one that you did with the was that the mirror glaze, like that galaxy mirror glaze?
Oh, the mirror glaze was one of my favorites.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked good.
Yeah, it was buttercream, plain desserts.
Yeah. When it was like we had to do that lemon cake and devil's food cake and everything.
Yeah, that was it was really awesome because it took me like 2 tries to come up with that mirror glaze recipe and to have a real good yellow cakes, devil's food cake, mirror glaze. Here's the recipe for that one. It came out really nice, but it used a lot of blue food coloring. And it really, and the trick of that one is the technique. How to melt the chocolate, how to bloom the gelatin first, how to melt the chocolate, then mix it with the milk, the condensed milk. And it's really about how to temper that chocolate, how to mix all the ingredients together. And that's what makes it that mirror glaze. Because I've done it before and I wasn't paying attention to the recipe and it came out like, oh, this is like shit. So that's what I did. It was on the spot. All right, you guys know the mirror glaze? What?
No, chef. We didn't do a mirror glaze.
No mirror glaze?
No. We spent 3 days on the same cakes.
Wednesday you make the cakes, you bake them. Thursday you do the icing, and Friday you assemble them and plate. Thursday you assemble them, and Friday you plate them. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, so here's the Wednesday you bake the cake batters, you bake them off. Thursday you make the icing, you assemble them, and Friday you present.
I think, well, it must have changed before they had changed the portal because it said we were doing like a whole bunch of other stuff too, plus that. And then we only ended up doing that. And so I thought we didn't get everything done.
No.
Your face is killing me. So like, I'm serious.
Wow. Would you guys like to have this mirror glaze recipe?
Yes. What do you mean? Yeah, of course.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna email you. So you guys already took 201, all my production sheets for that class. Is that okay with you guys?
Yes, chef.
Okay. Ms. Erin, is that okay with you?
Yes.
Ms. Danielle?
Yes, chef. That's fine.
Well, all right. Taylor?
You put my name on there? I'm just checking because you didn't ask me. So I just wanted to say.
Yes. I got JC, Alanda, Aaron, Moses, Danielle, Taylor. What about Mr. Gregory?
Yes, sir. Yes, please.
Yes, chef. Thank you.
Yes, chef.
Okay. All right, so this is it's sending right now. Okay. These are all my production sheets for 201, and inside it has the when it says buttercream, that's where it has the recipe for the mirror cake, the mirror glaze cake. So you guys want to experiment with that one later on and make it so you guys can make it. You're more than welcome to make it again. Okay. And again, I don't mind showing you this production because you guys already been through that. So can't have it, keep it, put it in your file, whatever you do. Okay. Come on, sending. Yeah, so that mirror glaze cake, the first time I made it, it was flat and the color was dark. It wasn't like it was pale, like what the hell is this? And the second time I made it, I'm like, okay, it clicked. The technique about how to make that recipe and how to make that cake. So the trick is to make that cake, you assemble it first. So you have the bottom cake, the filling, the cake, you trim it on the sides, it's nice and level on the outside, you freeze it. You bring it out. Okay, and then you pour the glaze slowly on top of it, slowly, and it'll coagulate. It'll get cold. It'll drizzle on the side of the cakes. Well, yes, you've seen it on the ground, right?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah, I did too. I saw it.
Froze the cake, so that's something.
Yeah, you freeze it. So let me see. We'll read the recipe real quick. Okay. So it has gelatin powder, 15 grams, cold water, 23, regular water, 115 grams. So it's got water times 2. Excuse me. Vanilla extract, 7 grams, condensed milk, 150 grams, white chocolate, 263 grams, sugar, 225 grams. So you're going to bloom the gelatin in the 150 grams of water. Okay. Melt the white chocolate on double boiler as it's going to turn into a paste. Add the condensed milk and stir until most of the white chocolate has been mixed together with the condensed milk. Add the 23 grams of sugar, vanilla extract. Continue to mix until dissolved. Add the 225 grams of sugar and continue to mix until all the ingredients have been dispersed. Add food coloring. Mix it. Strain and cool to about 85, 90 degrees. Okay. And again, make sure the cake sides are smooth. Make sure the top is level and assemble. And then you can either ice it to make it more smoother, ice it on top too, and then put that mirror glaze on top. And it's going to have that mirror effect. And it's going to, whatever color is going to show, it's going to be like awesome. So, yeah. So Wednesday, you bake the cakes. Thursday, you make the icings, the mirror glaze, and Friday, you present. So that's it. So whenever you guys have a chance, go ahead and make it. See what comes out. But it's all about that technique. And it comes really, really awesome. Any questions? You guys ready to rock and roll this week? Tomorrow?
Rock and roll.
So have your items mixed out. Don't wait for me to start making the meatloaf. I am not Chef Gary. Know the recipe, know the technique. Start making your potatoes. Those are really easy. You guys know them from Foundations. Make your gravy. You guys know how to make gravy. Start making meatloaf and go from there, okay? And also have your ingredients ready for your pickles, jalapenos, and carrots to make the brine, and also do your pâte brisée. Because once we hit the floor running, we're gonna go, okay? So I might be behind, but I'll catch up to you guys. Okay. Any questions, guys? You guys know where to reach me. I answer faster by text. Email, when I check it, I go edit it. But otherwise, reach me by phone. You guys got my number, right? Except for Mr. Where'd he go? Oh, Gregor, right?
Yes, Chef. I got the text that you sent out to the group, though. So I believe I have your number.
All right, cool. Just in case, faster by phone. Okay. All right, guys, and nothing more. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel. Get ready to rock and roll. We're gonna have some fun. And remember, center of the plate with height. Piped in potatoes. Put the green beans stacked on the side. And do the meatloaf, and then use the sauce to have a little smear on the side, just like Gordon Ramsay. Okay. Be creative. Think about it.
See, this is why my kids think that I should plate their food every night. All because of you. They think I should plate their food. And my daughter literally goes, I go, so do you guys, you're ready to eat? She goes, are you gonna plate it? Are you gonna make it look all fancy? I was like, look, if you're gonna want it like this or not. So
I was about to say free
And
food
now
is
my
fancy,
kids
so
are like
you better
extra
be-
bougie now because of you. So thanks a lot, Chef.
You said their expectations higher.
I was about to say free food is fancy. She better be eating.
Oh, and then not to mention that they take samples to their teachers. So like I get text messages saying, so Kayjon says that you made soup last night. So you think that I can get, a sample of it? So yeah, so thanks a lot. Yeah, thanks a lot.
So your family is bougie now, which is excellent. You said the standard's high. Don't let it come down.
They're bougie, but you're coming from a single parent of 3. So now I'm gonna pass. That's gonna be a hard pass. I told my son if he keeps acting up, I was just gonna make him sandwiches. Oh, he got pissed. Well, for leftovers for lunch, he takes leftovers. So he eats stuff like like French cut chicken, black green beans. He eats fancy stuff for lunch. And he literally asked the teacher to warm it up. So she goes to the teacher's lounge and she warms up his lunch for him. He doesn't take sandwiches and Lunchables. Oh, I'm sorry. He just corrected me. She has a microwave in her classroom now. So now his little bougie ass eats stuff like that. He doesn't eat like meat. He doesn't eat like like sandwiches. He eat meatloaf. we eat beef tips and rice for lunch. We don't eat stuff like Lunchables. So yeah, thanks a lot, Chef Miguel.
Kids in school trying to trade with him. I'll trade you my Doritos for your beef tips. He's like, no. You gotta know the truth now.
Oh my. So you can probably have them join you, plate up the dishes so they can see how to plate up. So you can raise their standards higher.
Hey, his teacher is acting like a maitre d'. How much higher does it need to go?
Pretty soon they're gonna be saying, "Can you make some curry chicken for us for lunch tomorrow? We don't want that nasty school food in the school, right?"
Be like, Mom, can you make some risotto so I can take that to school? Can you imagine? I wish I knew when I was younger though, because I sure would have asked my mother that. She wouldn't have known what to do, but I would have asked her.
I'm trying to tell you. He just asked me just a second ago. He was like, "So you're gonna put my leftovers up? Yeah, you're gonna eat beef tips tomorrow for lunch. You're good. You're good." So yeah, I'm telling you, he does not do sandwiches. He does not. Oh my God, I gotta put this kid in some sport. He does not do sandwiches.
You get foodies in the family now. Great, they follow in your footsteps. Oh my goodness. You're gonna have a lot of fun. They're gonna enjoy what you make. You're gonna expand their palate, the texture and the flavors of themselves too. All right, guys. Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel, and be ready to rock and roll that bougie meatloaf with mashed potatoes and green beans. Oh yeah, see you tomorrow.
Bye, Chef.
Oh my.